Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community, a place for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious to unite under all things art and tattoos. We encourage you to join in these live streams and real-world events where we offer a new option for connecting with each other to better your art, develop your skill set, and be with other like-minded artists. If you're new to our community, you can find us beaming out nearly every day. We've evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that are expanding all the time. Thank you to everyone joining us on YouTube or Facebook, and a special thanks to those of you who are listening to the podcast. Our event schedule and notifications can be found in our official Reinventing the Tattoo community. To get there, search for and download the Reinventing the Tattoo app that is found in both of your app stores, Apple and Google Play. You can also join directly at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. All of our network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, webinars can be enjoyed on demand and are stored in our library, as well as the YouTube and podcast channels. There you'll find countless tattoo and art rabbit holes, perfect for the front room of your studio or to entertain tattoo clients. In fact, we're beaming out 4 channels 24/7. If you go to reinventing247.com, you can see all of this and enter to win a goodie bag with samples from Cheyenne cartridges, raw pigments, and D-Lies Pro. We also have several weekly shows and drawing groups too. Every Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m., you can join Jason Lesser for his Reinventing drawing group. All skill levels are welcome. At 9 p.m. on Sundays, you can watch the Tattoo Weekly with myself, Gabe Ripley, and Jake Meeks of our affiliate Fireside Tattoo. Every Monday evening, we have our evening canon class with subscribers led by Guy Aitchison. This month, we are focusing on anatomy. To join, subscribe to the canon at courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. Every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., we have Ricardo Sturdivant for his Reinventing drawing group. Wednesdays at noon, you can find the Tattoo Now show hosted by Gabe Ripley. Every Thursday afternoon, you can find the Tattoo Collecting podcast hosted by Vaughn Baker and Jordan Rookus. And on Thursday mornings, subscribers are welcome to join Kier for skill levels that are focused on apprentices, fundamentals, and such. Now, there are several ways to support our show, and that is by checking out some of our upcoming pro development and on-demand shows. We've got stuff from Andre Malcolm, BJ Betts, Bob Tyrell, and others. Find all of this at courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. Of course, we mentioned this being a free community, and we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for making that happen for us. We recommend checking out World Tattoo Events at worldtattooevents.com. They are the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. Lots of stuff is updating as conventions are rescheduling like crazy, so definitely remember to check them out. We also have inkjet stencils found at inkjetstencils.com. Now, print stencils from your mobile or computer. Save your time, hands, and apprentices' hands. Webinars and free samples are located on their website. We've also got Raw Pigments, an ink company that is tapping into the source with acrylic-free pigments that have really been impressing artists across the globe. You can find out more about them at rawpigments.co. We also have D-Lies Pro, known internationally as Dermalize Pro. Protect your art. If you're using saran wrap, watch videos of tattooers to see what it's all about at dermalizepro.com. Also, thank you to Tattoo Now, which is tattoo technology for tattooers. And of course, the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo, Guy Aitchison. You can find his Biomech encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, paintings, and more at guyaitchison.com. We also want to say thank you to our affiliate Fireside Tattoo Network, the Apprenticeship Diaries, and ecofriendlytattoosupplies.com. Now, I know it's cool seeing us on the screen, but there, of course, are real-world events that are upcoming at the end of this year. October 3rd to 6th, the Paradise BYOB in Jiminy Peak, Massachusetts, will be webcasting shows live with tons of great content going on. As well as November 12th to 14th, you can find us in Belgium at the Brussels Tattoo Convention. Nick Baxter, Ivana, and Gabe will be doing seminars, beaming in an art jam, and a subscriber-exclusive meetups, as well as general ones. Next May 20th to 22nd, you can find us in Hell City. July 8th to 10th, the Rock River Tattoo and Art Expo. There'll be a reinventing track artist. Amazing venue. It's easy to get to from anywhere in the world. July 29th to 31st, 2022, the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational will be back with Tony Urbanic in Akron, Ohio. Now, if you guys missed that Paradise Tattoo Gathering, don't worry. Next October 20th to 23rd, the Paradise Tattoo Gathering will be back. Now, we welcome positive reviews on our channels and would love for you to follow us. But if you would like to host a reinventing event or to sponsor our community, just send us an email to management@reinventingthetattoo.com. Now, I'm going to get out of here. I will be in the background reading off comments. I'll have my browser open to share inspirations and references. Let me know where you're beaming in from. Thanks to our growing crew of contributing artists, truly helping Reinventing reach more of the right people for the right reasons. Thank you for inspiring each other and everyone in our virtual Reinventing offices. Awesome, guys. How are you doing today? Pretty good?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Pretty good. Right on.
What's up?
Yep. We're here today
Episode
with
number 51.
51.
51.
Yeah, we've come a long way, guys. We're approaching a year.
Yep. How many weeks are in a year?
52.
52.
Mhm.
There we go. One more week.
Yep.
One more week. That's wild.
Are we going to attempt to re-celebrate?
Let's wait till the next milestone. Once we hit the double digits, and we'll have a real party.
Yeah, we'll figure out something. We were gonna. Yeah, we had a little bit
We
different
had a
plan,
few different
something-
ideas for
something
last week,
changed
but
last
things fell
week.
through. But it's okay.
We have a podcast
This week-
bash.
We have the one and only Andala Ray with us.
Hello.
Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure.
Scoot up.
Yeah. So my name is Andala Ray, and I am a tattoo artist from Toledo, Ohio, which isn't too far from here. It's just a couple hours up north. I'm doing it for about eight plus years now. My head's too small for this headset. I'm trying to find a
yeah,
happy
they can
medium.
close a
They
little
can
bit.
close it.
if you
Yeah.
wanna
All
hold
right, I'll just put it on top. There we go.
it. Sorry. Yeah,
Technology.
they close a little bit more.
Yeah. So yeah, made the trip up or down this morning, and
Here we
pretty
are.
good day.
Nice.
So-
how was the trip?
It was wonderful, actually. The weather was beautiful. I had the windows down,
Nice.
flying around. It was very nice.
Nice. I haven't been out to Toronto.
Toledo.
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 That's
Toledo.
that's a whole
Toronto's
different
a whole
spot,
different
buddy.
Not what I
country.
meant. I'm
That's
just
a
dumb.
different country. You
That's
need
a-
a
You need
passport.
passport for that trip.
Too many blunts already.
We just started.
One.
We're
Half.
like halfway through
Half.
one.
You.
Wait,
you guys just started.
wait. I got personally yelled at for using the term blunt on air last, 2 weeks ago? I feel offended now that you're just willy-nilly flinging it out.
I said
there.
blurnt.
Blurnt.
Fuck you.
Blizzard.
Blurnt.
Materials.
I wouldn't
It doesn't matter.
I
It's
wouldn't
just
have
a
yelled at you.
joke.
I think I don't
I yelled at you.
violently.
He's sensitive.
Violently.
You accosted him on air, Jordan.
There's-
You
I
accosted
believe
him.
there's recorded evidence. I'm just
You can't say blunt.
what?
I didn't know that was terrible.
Oh,
It's-
I was
it's not.
we're
It's
just
not
being
real.
silly.
I was definitely joking.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Code.
I try to be PC,
Ultra PC.
That's fair though. Our children viewers would they
All
would appreciate
them
it.
children looking about collecting tattoos, you know. Looking out for the youth.
All to you.
I don't know. I've been doing some kid tattoos lately. Again.
Some
been
tattoos
a
on
while.
kids
Yeah,
Yeah, she did. She did.
Yeah.
again
I'm an all
After what
ages
happened?
tattooer.
after last time.
They still let you do that?
No, Ben brought his daughter Lillian for one of their daddy-daughter dates, and she got sleeved up with some temporary tattoos. But like I took these hipster tattoos that they found and cut them apart so we could make like specific bands, and all the tattoos went together.
Can we
That's
talk
fun.
about something serious here for a second?
What's the serious thing?
like the extreme lack of quality temporary tattoos?
That's
You know how bummed I was? I went to
Not
like
a lie.
6 stores before I found any.
He had
And then when I
Frozen and
found them, I was like,
unicorns.
these are trash.
Well,
They're trash.
Did you find the good ones in the makeup aisle?
No.
Right.
Oh,
You know-
Sometimes in the cosmetic aisle, you'll find little like
So
henna looking
I
fake
know there
tattoos.
is a market for these high quality temporary kids tattoos. I've seen them on the interweb where they're full sleeves and they're one picture and they wrap around. and
Well, even
say, yeah.
adults.
Even
Adults,
there's definitely
they like
adults.
that.
I was
Yeah,
just
they're
gonna
like,
say
I
that.
don't
But
want
they're
to
like
put it
I
in
had
the
a-
$60.
I had a member of my family. I don't want to call out too hard because it was absolutely ridiculous. But he was going to go to like Florida, and he was asking me and stuff like hardcore, like asking me like, where can I get temporary tattoos? I want to have a full back tattoo and I want to have sleeves. So he goes on
And
the
you will
beach.
look like
Oh, no.
I'm like,
what are you
no,
doing?
you
Don't do it.
cannot do this.
Don't
Paper
do it.
party
Do
outlet.
not
Let
do
me
it.
tell you, that's where you start.
It's like a
Paper party
40-year-old
outlet.
man.
Oh no.
No, it's like a 55-year-old man.
yeah, don't do it. Don't
I don't
do
know. I
it.
kind of feel like you should just let them do it and like just fall.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
started
no.
peeling off in the
Just
pool,
let it
and you're
happen.
like, no.
Oh,
To be honest, I wouldn't care
So,
at all.
I mean, I'm assuming most
I
of the time
definitely
people
would
doing
love
that are
love for him to do that.
to attempt to attract a mate. Could you imagine like picking up someone like 2 days deep and then being like, "Oh, your tattoo's falling off there."
Right.
But
That was
Something you just look dirty.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
getting smeary and particly.
You can just scrub you with some baby oil. Let's see
Right.
what happens.
You kind of get a little shit
sorry,
marks
sorry, we
there.
took this for a weird turn, but that's what we do.
Yeah.
That is the thing though. Like, why can't we find better, like, just like you've got race cars, Frozen, or
It was all Disney.
yeah, that's
Well, maybe we just led to a conversation though of when it's acceptable.
What to
if you want to make it more appealing, like, okay, say an artist that was really good and they decided, okay, I'm going to make designs for, these temporary tattoos. And then adults were,
Something-
oh, we're on board with this. And then it became like a whole thing. Like, yes, maybe you're like creating this whole like, new era of tattooing.
let me
but
ask you
it's-
this.
it's
So
almost
I could
the
see that, like,
anti-tattoo.
actually
It's the
draw-
anti-tattoo,
like, actually
because you're not
drawing
actually
them.
getting to do it.
So-
Right, right.
the film,
It's
like
Andy
the
Warhol.
film that temporary tattoos are, you know what I'm talking about? You know
Uh-huh.
how you apply it and it's that thin film that like dissolves and then re-sticks. Can we get sheets of that and then just print on it with a laser jet printer? Can we just
Now-
do that and then
I'm sure with a little research, you
like
can do
mirror
whatever
it
you
and
want.
do tattoos? of
How do
whatever?
they do it?
Yeah,
So I
exactly. What
know-
do they print it on?
Back in the late
That's the
90s,
question.
Dan Leslie's business cards where he custom made temporary tattoos for this kid
Mhm.
and decked him out. Like this was early 90s. And it was a picture of him sitting on a swing with like America across his stomach and like a giant eagle on his chest. And all this. It was a super, super rad photo. And ever since then, it was like, there's something to that. There's something to that. But like, so I know if he could have them made
Cool kid
even
caddies.
back then. So I don't know.
There's got to be a way.
I'm just saying.
What if we just
Let's bring
like
this to the people.
I
figurehead
should try on
like
one of my kids. Like, my son's birthday's coming up. Like,
Boom.
hey, dude, I got you a bodysuit.
what's a better way to
Have a
teach a
tattoo
kid
party.
how to collect tattoos?
If I
than
had a
get them
child-
big,
If I have a
nice
child, they would be
tattoos?
so covered in fake tattoos.
My
Like
kid is
Sharpie
always
drawings
covered
all
in
the
fake
time.
tattoos. I did have success by ordering some off of Amazon one time, but then the next time that we ordered them, they were junk. They were stuff that wasn't I would consider cool tattoos. They were super cheesy and like.
Can't let
I'm
your
a-
kid go out wearing that.
Yeah, like I got a rep. I talk about collecting tattoos. I can't send it.
There's
around
gotta be a-
and
there's a
bust
special
the
printer.
uniforms and-
There's got to be a way that we can make our own
It
fake
is.
tattoos.
Yeah,
We
dude,
gotta
it's-
like if we can teach little kids like, look, you don't have to settle for Elsa because you had no other options.
Well, not even that. I mean,
Little girl, you want a skull? You can have a skull. Let's do it. Look at this rad skull. It's anatomically correct. Look. Point out those incisors.
Or
I
you
mean-
can tell me what you want, and I will draw it for you. And just
maybe that's the market, creating custom kids
Yeah,
temporary
I think
tattoos.
we have something here.
This equipment's going to be like $38,000 per machine. It's going to be
No.
ridiculous.
Well, how much is like a 3D printer?
It says an inkjet printer. Print the design onto a sheet of special decal paper.
So there's just
Look at
special paper that we
Jordan
have to get.
Immediately using Google to solve
type of
all
ink
of
is
our
that?
fucking problems.
Just regular inkjet.
The name's Jamie.
Jamie,
It's Jamie now.
Today it's Jamie.
You've changed, bro.
Jamie, what are you learning
I've
for
changed.
You've changed, bro.
Don't call me Jamie.
us?
Let me correct that. No.
Friends call me Whiskers.
Whiskers sounds
Call it grown man whiskers.
unique.
How to make a temporary tattoo.
What?
Wiki how. It's that easy.
What?
We ask a question, the question is answered.
God dang Google.
Says to put some thought into your design before you apply it, though.
That is solid advice. Look, even people in the temporary make your own tattoo are like, we don't want you walking around looking fucked up.
It's gonna be a couple of
Put
days.
some thought into
Put some
it.
thought into it. And if people don't even have that foresight for getting a permanent tattoo. I mean,
Right out the printer.
Nice.
gumball tattoos are a thing.
We're gonna get some of this paper, and then next time we have a tattoo the children day, they're gonna be so tatted. They're gonna have chest pieces. They're gonna have
Throaties.
leg sleeves.
Throaties, little temple tats.
Parents are gonna hate me so much.
I
Just
love
create
it.
a monster.
Like,
I mean,
Fonts.
there were times with my nephew when he was little. One time I drew this whole bio chest plate on him all the way down. It was great. At the same time, my when he was little and my leg sleeve was just like outlines, I'd let him color all over it with Crayola markers, and stuff he got to color in.
I think we
Adam's
can
work
start
before
throwing
Adam
themed
did.
kids
Yeah.
tattoo birthday parties.
I think I know
Like
some
bring
moms
back
that
the
would do
tattoo
that.
party, but in a very wholesome.
Yes.
I like this idea. I like this
You know
where
how
this
much
is going.
you know how much parents pay for birthday party themes?
Ben,
Coming from a kid that worked at
Ben,
a
are
kid's
you going to
water
be the
park.
traveling birthday party tattoo entertainer?
Let me tell you about my patience level for other people's children and
Okay.
how much that is a bad idea. My kid, it's mine. It's tolerable.
I don't
We're
know.
bonded.
The kids are usually pretty excited about getting their tattoos, and you're like, okay, hold real still.
See,
Hold
look how
still.
much more awesome you are at it already than I am.
Yeah, fun. You got it in the bag.
You need another job.
You got it
You
in the
need one
bag.
more job.
I think it'd be great. Yeah.
All right, we're
I'll
gonna
work on it
start
with you. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
children's tattoo parties.
if
Yes.
we do it,
Get
they-
ready.
they
There's
are
a
fun.
way to like tactfully advertise this
Copyrighted for us, mark
Appealing.
date from this
Mhm.
recorded adventure. No one can infringe on our property.
Don't take
towards-
our
Yeah, this is a
idea.
pretty banging idea.
Bam.
This is-
Actually, take our idea, just as long as you're not in Ohio or like the immediate
No,
Columbus
run
area.
with it. We're not gonna do
Run
it.
with
Let's
it.
be honest.
Run
We're
with
gonna do
it.
this shit.
Run with it. And then when we see
I
your
don't fucking
Instagram
run with
page
you. I
pop
got a
up,
couple
I'm
of
gonna
kids.
be
I'm
your
like,
biggest
"You wanna have a birthday
cheerleader. Be like,
party?"
look, somebody did it. Somebody let them go.
I'm telling you, September 15th is my son's birthday.
So
Like,
whoever
Tattoo
picks this up
party?
and runs with
I
it, it
think-
sounds like you owe us a few
yes.
birthday parties.
and it could be like cosmic tattoo because its name is cosmic. So cosmic tattoos, like galactic stuff, outer space.
I mean, you can just
Man.
print them. Like if you've got the printer right there with you and you got the right paper, you can just print it, cut it out, and run it.
So what you're saying is
Throat sleeves. What would it be like walking into a grocery store and having some like huge like American traditional like devil heart
Dude, I'm
with some
telling you.
flowers behind it on your daughter?
I wish I could dig up
Like
the-
teeny tiny.
the-
or like a baby. I'm thinking like a baby, like with a full
Yeah.
fucking sleeve.
So have you guys ever seen like the onesies that come with like the compression style sleeves on them that are sublimated printed all over?
Yeah.
They make those with tattoo sleeves on them
Mhm.
already.
Yeah.
And yes, my kid has one. But like I think we're getting there. So this is how we nosedive into pointless topics.
Okay, no, I like
That
it.
that just
This is brainstorming, man. It's great.
Yeah, we get crazy sometimes. Jordan talks about aliens a lot. So we
Jordan
talk
doesn't
about
even like
aliens a lot.
I don't feel like this was too outrageous. These were some solid ideas. Like, unless I'm just.
I mean,
like,
I think my
tattoo
ultimate
babies.
job
Yeah,
would be to
this is
sit around and
brilliant,
get stoned and give people ideas to make money and just not have to actually do the ideas.
man. I mean, even
I
if
think you're
you,
real good at that.
you don't make any money, like I know that my kid would love this idea.
what if I
Like,
just
what if-
offered my services to like sit in on other tattooers' conversations when I am just like obliterated and baked out of my mind?
Wait,
Like when we're smoking
Let me help you
together,
out.
when we're like really smoking because
We
it's
don't
been a
even
long
smoke.
week. Okay,
What
but
are you
if we
talking
did,
about?
could
Yes,
you like
Mom.
some of the crazy ideas I have? Could you imagine if I was just a fly on the wall? Like, you know what you guys should do with this cover up is this. Be like, I don't even know where it came from. It's the weed. I can't even take credit.
Check
for
it out. I know you're doing great, but I can do it better. So listen for a second.
Sometimes it's not even
With
that I
it,
can do it better. It's just like, oh, this idea that just struck me that like anybody could do.
You're my favorite.
I don't have to be the one, but here's the idea. Like, so you've heard me, like, we'll be like brainstorming with your clients when we're like having smoke breaks and stuff together and be like, oh, it'd be cool if you did like this, or this. But it's really just because like I look at people and like things appear to me, like they just kind of emerge like they're supposed to be there.
It's a gift.
It is.
Do you think it's a gift or do you think it's the weed?
Absolutely. Well,
I think it's
weed-
I think it's the
Well, let me
vision.
start with
I think it's the
I think
imagination
the weed
and the
is
vision.
like
Weed
the
is a gift
catalyst,
as well.
but like
because
weed is
It
the
is a
gift.
catalyst.
so all right, let me be honest. If I didn't smoke, I'd be on some sort of mood altering medication since I was a little kid, right? So like instead of being drugged up and doped up, I know I need to slow myself down to a certain frequency to receive information. That's how my brain works.
Mhm.
I know that. So when I'm not operating at optimum capacity. I'm bouncing off the walls, I'm staring at everything, I'm kicking, I'm playing with my hands. But to bring me into the right frame of mind to work and think and actually be creative, I wouldn't say require, but pretty steady fast on that track.
Yeah, I could agree with you. I could agree with you.
I don't know.
Ben's tweaking things.
Just little touches, just little touches.
Oh,
I don't know. It's just one of those things that was like, if I didn't smoke, I'd be on some pharmaceutical. Might as well take something natural.
fair. I know the ingredients of this.
I know the love that went into the sun and the light and the soil and everything about everything I get.
You know, we talk about things that we put in our bodies and like how, like when you look at like the ingredient label on something, when it's got a million different ingredients that you can barely pronounce, if you can pronounce any of them at all.
Right.
Like that's in food. That's food that we're talking about. And if we start talking about like body care and like medications and different like pharmaceutical products, it just like exponentially grows. But like, what do we know about these ingredients? Like even somebody that is a nerd about chemistry, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know anything
Right.
about. A lot.
My favorite is like the soap commercials when they flip over the bottle of soap and they're like, "You realize all this crap you're putting on your body?" I'm like, I can't pronounce any of those words. No.
Like they
No.
don't sound natural. Most
No-
of them.
none of
Just
them.
like these are all synthesized.
Any
something.
word with more than
What is
3
this even?
syllables, I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
But
Like
weed,
you made that. You had to combine some
Sulfates,
shit to
like-
get to that.
how many ingredients is weed? One.
Fire, soil.
One.
Yes and no. It
On the
depends.
trust factor though.
It depends because there is hydroponic systems that are over chemicaling, overstimulating, over vegging, not flushing, not doing the things that they're supposed to do to make sure that the product gets to the consistency that it's supposed to be at. So there is-
but even with weed, it's pretty comforting then to know that we can break weed down even more into the micronutrients. That
Right.
makes me trust it even more.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
compared to stuff I can't pronounce and don't know what it is. I don't know what it's for. I don't know how much is there. I don't know why it's
But
there.
also, if you
Like,
learned all those things, maybe you would learn that they might not be so bad. Just like even like the word cannabinoid to like someone who's not used to big words, it could be like, that's a weird word, you know, because they don't know and maybe doesn't sound natural until you're like, oh, I guess that is natural, or it just comes from some extract of something, even though it's got some big long name. It's really just some base
Nope.
thing.
You bring in science, I get scared. Sorry. One syllable words only for me.
I like the word
I'm a
cannabinoid.
caveman.
Cannabinoid though.
Cannabinoid.
It sounds like a little like
Cannabinoid.
weed creature or something, or like a little weed alien.
Yeah.
Like a little cannabinoid.
For some reason, it's making me think of the Domino's Noid.
All
You remember
noided.
that guy?
You're the Noid.
All noided
They
out.
were trying to bring him back, and I was like, "Stop, Domino's.
No,
Stop."
you're not down with the Noid?
It's my
Tell me
favorite.
how you feel, Ben.
Okay,
It's my favorite way to say I'm getting
the
annoyed.
point of the advertisement is to get on your nerves. You did a good job.
Do you remember the 2002, 2003, 2004-ish Quiznos campaign?
No.
The Sponge Monkeys? The
No.
best, worst campaign ever. It was this obnoxious little sponge, like with googly eyes and like crudely cut out mouth stuck on. And he's like, "We love our subs because they're good. They are
Yeah, I
yummy,
remember
they
those
are
little
crunchy, they
creepy
are
little things.
toasted."
Obviously,
Best campaign
it
ever.
worked.
Best campaign.
Yeah.
Best
Obviously,
worst campaign
it
ever.
worked.
I personally identified with the
I must have worked out.
They hit their demographic market. Who wants a toasted sub midday?
but
I
as
love
crazy
this
as that advertisement was, like it got so many people's attention that Quiznos business like inflated a lot. Whatever happened to Quiznos?
Except, yeah, whatever happened.
They died.
We need another.
They died. Subway
Monkey.
started toasting their subs.
Someone was like, "We got toasters too, bitch. Put up alone." Holla.
Like, fuck you
You'll
guys.
feed your
Just
whole
buy
family
a,
for
buy a
15
fucking
bucks.
toaster.
No, no.
Subway made a
We got
solid
toasters.
decision.
We got cheese and toasters.
Cheese
son.
and
Like,
Quiznos
don't you worry
still
about it.
Quiznos made a way better sub though.
I like Penn Station.
yeah,
Station's
yeah. If we're going hot sub, I want there to be someone crafty.
Never
Yep.
been to Penn Station.
Artichokes on there. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I'm not used to that those weird Ohio things.
Oh, what did we lose?
Uh-oh.
We lost something.
There we are.
Boom.
Something startling. Well, we got back up.
Startling?
Startling.
That caught all the way up like, oh, she meant startling. Okay. Oh, woo,
Startling.
woo, startling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Startled.
I don't know
man.
about no Startling.
I've been startled.
Startled.
Startling.
So we could get back on track a little bit.
We had a track.
I
I'm kidding. We
mean,
always
sometimes there's a track. So you've collected from a few rad people. Do you want to talk about your tattoo collection a little bit?
Sure. Well, most of my sleeve is by.
How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
I apologize.
Sorry, I'm interjecting because I
Yeah.
like asked things out of order. But how old were you when you got your first tattoo?
18.
Okay.
Yeah, the day that I turned 18.
No sneaking off middle of
No.
like
It was
this
snowing.
period.
It was, no. No, I kind of snuck out of my house and I went with, I was dating this dude. We all decided to go and it was snowing, blizzard. And I went to this really kind of like seedy shop.
I love all stories that start with a kinda seedy shop.
Tell us more.
I need more.
Well, I mean, they're closed now. If that says anything, but it was on the east side of Toledo. And so I did not, I didn't have any issues from it. Like it didn't get infected or anything, which was good. But
It's okay.
I know you like put it right there.
Just forget it's there.
There's like a grid.
It's okay.
It is now in my teeth.
All right.
So there we are. Snowstorm, east side of Toledo.
Yeah, getting a little. I was really into Radiohead at the time, so I got the little amnesiac guy, the little crying minotaur.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, which actually I'd hope to get covered pretty soon here. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As first
Yeah.
tattoos often do.
Yeah, well, there's, I mean, quite a bit of space on my back. So, eventually I'd like to just do a whole back piece and cover it. After that, I got just a few little spotty tattoos here and there at some other little, rinky-dink kind of shops.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I started getting tattooed at Infinite Art, which is where I work at. And so I had been tattooed by Woody and Monk, who was the guy that apprenticed me. And most of my sleeve is from him. My hands, Brian Norwalk rendered my hand. I have some work from Adrian Dominic on my calf.
Nice.
And
Oh, yeah.
just
This works awesome.
yeah. For my armpits,
You've got some old derb work.
I do have some old derb work on my back, on my neck, on the back of my neck. He did a red tree for me. He was working.
You can just pass it. You can just pass it. It's okay.
You're on video.
No pressure.
Too. They know when you do that.
No pressure. You can just.
You don't have to mouth it. I'm just messing with you.
Okay. Yeah. So Infinite Art had put on a convention in Toledo. It was the one and only one that they did.
Mhm.
And Derb was friends with Monk. And so he said, you know, I can be a part of this. That's cool. So he came down and, or I'm sorry, came up and did the convention in Toledo. And that's actually when I met him. The first time that I ever met Derb was at that convention. And I really like, he had like this big painting behind him of a red tree. And I was like, man, that thing is sweet. I love it. And so I said, can I have something like that on my body? You know, and I love it. And he's like, yeah. So we did it.
How many years ago
It's
was
a
that?
very Derb response. Fuck yeah.
I was, I think 19, maybe. So it's been,
So that just goes to show how long the red tree has been a theme. For
Yeah.
Derb. Like if you look at all of Derb's old paintings, you'll see like little silhouettes of like red trees.
That's
One
funny.
time in the woods behind his house in Reynoldsburg, when Sid was little, he went out and he painted a tree red.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
he physically painted a tree red and then took all kinds of crazy
He had a
photos
whole
and stuff with
series
it.
of a stump with an axe.
Mhm.
And yeah. Mhm.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know what the red tree really symbolizes, but it's apparently something that just like reappears to Derb over and over.
yeah, it's really cool.
Just some symbolic dream object.
If only he was in contact enough to ask. Oh wait. Yes. We should just ask.
Well, I've talked to him about it a little bit because I paint trees and stuff, and like my dreamscapes always have like hand drawn, dreamed up little scenes with made up trees, and his do too. But like mine might be crazy colors, but his like distinctively are always red.
Mhm.
And then there's always like a nuclear green glow, and then a purple that is somewhere that it doesn't really belong, but works great.
Like que pasó?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. As much as I like to play and flip flop colors around, Derb does some pretty crazy stuff with his colors too. I got to work on Tony the other day, and he's got that piece that Derb did on his foot with like instead of like water as the finger waves around the severed head, it's supposed to be oil. So it was all in like yellows and golds and browns. It was really fun to pull off of the colors that he chose and then into
Right.
black.
I seen that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like as many years as I've been looking at Derb's work, it's funny the color selections that he chooses and what motivates him, and then how those colors talk to each other. Like
Mm.
it may come across as random, but I don't think it is. I think he's daydreaming in some crazy, like, I don't know, hallucinogenic realm all the time. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe it's just the same theme. He's just doing little bits and pieces.
I think Derb's just an artist and he accesses it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a good artist. I feel like he's got a good intuition for those things.
Yeah, that was a little sidetrack, but like it's just funny to see how long the red tree has been a theme. Because I have clients ask me like, "What's the name red tree mean?" It's like, I mean, if you look at Derb's paintings, they've all got red trees in them. There's like
It
photos
means
of
a
the
red
stump that Ben was talking about, the
tree.
little chopped down stump sculpture that he
Mhm.
made. There's photos of that. Like it's just a literal reoccurring theme in all of Derb's artwork, going way, way back.
I bet there's a story. We gotta ask him.
Mhm.
Call him up.
Next time we have Derb on the show, we're gonna
put him on
talk about,
speaker.
we're gonna
Let
talk
him
about red
answer.
next time we have them, we'll talk about red trees and what and why and where they come from.
Right.
I wonder what his first red tree tattoo was.
Hmm.
When did he start tattooing? How long ago?
90.
No, he opened Stained Skin in '94, right? Is that right?
I am the wrong person to do
Ben, you're
tattoo
supposed to
history
know
with.
all the tattoo history,
No,
all of it.
wrong guy.
You're responsible. Tattoo history, Ben.
Nope. I can barely remember my own birthday. And you want to
He's like,
talk to
I
me
can't
about
remember.
shops?
He's like, I can't keep track of my own present, let alone
Yeah.
somebody else's
Nah,
history.
nah, I'm good.
Do you think like 35 years, maybe?
Hmm,
He did start tattooing when he was like 15 or 16.
Yeah,
Okay, well then, like,
yeah. At least 30 years. This has been a long time. 30. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. All right.
So you have an early red tree tattoo.
I do have an early red tree tattoo.
Super early red tree tattoo.
Yeah.
I am curious as to when that theme started though.
Yeah, I wonder if he was like daydreaming about that kind of stuff when he was a little kid. There's some stuff that I'm dabbling in now that like I've always daydreamed, and I've always seen some of these recurring shapes and like kaleidoscopic versions of things, and like just flip-flopped colors, and I've always daydreamed in that, and it's like I'm just now getting to the point where I can like share those ideas, and I have enough little like paintings of things and ideas that like this whole other realm is starting to take shape. Like if you see enough of my paintings all together, it starts to become like
There is a little more
there is kind of a
cohesiveness.
theme here. Like I can't put my finger on it, but I'm starting to believe this place exists.
If you look at my watercoloring book selection and see that I use the same Crayola color palette every time, you'll notice a theme in mine as well.
Wait till I open your world to
I love it, man.
Prismacolor pencils.
I love I'm doing good with the
I'm going to bust out my Prismacolor pencils because let me tell
I'm
you.
not
As a
an
child-
artist in any way, shape, or form.
As a child, I was an art supply snob. I was a only Crayola kid. If you handed me a praying, I'd be like, this isn't even gonna be
What is
purple.
this trash?
This is not ultramarine. Like, look at that mark. Pink. Look at that. Baby blue. Garbage. Crayola, it's gonna be the color you expect it to be. Prismacolor, even better. It's just you get so much more pigment. Like basically with a Crayola, if you had to color full saturation, press hard and like do 3 layers to get like brilliant colors, Prismacolor, barely touch it, it's there.
Sounds so permanent. I
Oh,
don't know.
you're gonna love it.
Scary.
And I've got some Verathins I can let you use, and they're just like regular Prismacolors, but they come to a finer, sharper point.
Can I get past Crayola first?
This is the next step.
I'm not there.
No, you
You're
must
there.
advance.
You're there,
I'm
Ben.
not there, guys. Like,
You got to take the leap.
I didn't even finish the coloring book page last paint night.
It's
I
okay.
got like a quarter of it done.
Well,
I
what
have
if you
some-
really like it? What if you really, really enjoy it? And you're like,
I think I'd have known a long time ago.
Have
No,
you ever
you
played
know,
with
like-
watercolor pencils?
ooh.
Pencils?
So, okay, it's
Like the
watercolor
shady
and a
ones?
stick. Yes,
Yeah.
color with watercolor pencils, just like a regular pencil. And then you can take a paintbrush with just water or like just spit shade. And then you can blend out what you've colored with the pencil and then pull it out and it'll look
So-
like a wash.
I didn't
It's
get
fantastic.
a set of colored pencils that are blendable with like the special marker that's like a felt tip or whatever, but I've never had to do it with water. But you know what? I couldn't do it too.
With Prismacolors, they call them clear colorless blenders. And it's just a stick of like the wax that carries the pigment. And then you can blend colors, and then you come over with a smear and it makes it look rich and like an oil painting.
Overshooting my skill.
I've never seen it.
We're gonna we're gonna bring you up a level, Ben, and you're gonna be like, what? I can create?
If he wants to.
Yeah,
If he wants to, no pressure.
Don't force me to.
We
No
only
pressure.
have
That
art
makes
nights
people not-
every so often.
I feel like that can make people not want to do things.
Yeah,
we only have art nights every so often.
The caveman
We're gonna
still
have-
made art.
We're
You
gonna
know,
have a
it's okay.
3-minute.
Ben can make it at his own
That's
pace
like
that
minimal.
he's
We're gonna
have a
comfortable with.
3-minute
He'll use
lesson.
a Verathin when he's ready to use a
Yeah,
Verathin.
get off my Verathin line.
We're gonna have a 3-minute lesson at next art night, probably at our first smoke break, and I am going to blow your mind, and you're gonna be a real artist. I mean, you can still use your coloring books. I just want you to be
You're
able
my
to like
favorite.
play with color and just see the joy in color like I do, because it's really fun to make color come alive. It really is. Like once you see like the magic happen,
I can
color
agree with
becomes
that. I can
really
agree
fun.
with that statement.
Even if you're
Can
just
agree
like
with that
making
statement.
Which
color.
one? The make the magic happen part?
That colors are
Oh.
like magic.
Sometimes
like
I'll just play with
them.
colors, and like I'll play with like mixing watercolors and different medias and like let things settle together, and then whatever happens just kind of like starts to happen. And then sometimes that will turn into a painting. Sometimes I just flip the page and do it again. Like I really enjoy like watching how colors interact, and I want to share that joy with you, Ben.
Okay,
I want to share that joy with
I'm
you.
in. I like joy shares. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. You're
I
like,
think you should accept
you're
that
like, this
invitation.
makes
I'm not
me
even-
happy.
I'm not even
And you
saying
need
you gotta-
happy, man. Like,
Yeah. I'm not even saying you got to do anything with it. I just want to show you these cool tricks that are really fun to play with. And like sometimes you can sit there with a scribble pad when you're just waiting to do something, or you're like stuck in standstill traffic, and like just like
did you
fidget
just,
away,
did you
and
just
then
advise people to drive in traffic?
to
That's
draw in
Color-
traffic.
to
I
color-
always have a sketchbook in my bag. Like if now that I've cut my dreads off, I need to have other little fidgets when I like, sometimes traffic literally stops, and rather than be
Nope.
impatient, I pick up something that I can like keep my hands busy with while I'm No?
Yes.
No, I agree.
That's-
Trains, you know,
I've
you can kind of like.
I've
Yeah,
never done
I did-
that, but
I did
I
get
can
stuck
agree.
in it.
Okay.
Jordan's like, I never took waiting in traffic as a chance to be creative.
Yeah.
I generally just
I use that.
take
I like to
opportunity
stare at the clouds and look for UFOs. That's my
That's
time.
fair. That's equally.
I have
as
to.
important.
That's when I'm driving. That's my
Day and
ultimate.
night?
Ultimate. Yeah. Fuck yeah. You never know.
Day and night.
Yeah, the only one that I've seen was during the day.
But seriously, I gotta like when I'm driving, I gotta be like, okay, look at the road.
I just take those opportunities to practice my karaoke.
That's a good one too.
Turn up A2M and scream obscenities at the people in front of you. You know, it's a good time. Good time.
Kind of brings out your inner hood rat, doesn't it?
It does.
You
It's
just
a
want to
blast.
like turn your system all the way up.
I do.
You rattle your windows.
I do. I just
Irritate
look at
everybody
people like-
around you.
I know it's gross. You love it. Scream death metal out the window at people.
What's your current favorite bump right now?
I don't know if I should say this on air.
I think you should say it on air.
My
Don't do it.
Trolls jam. So Trolls music picture has a soundtrack that is amazing. We're just gonna start with that. But there's a song on there called Yodel Beats. And
It's amazing.
They made
This
it for the
song hits
movie,
so
but
hard.
it slaps. But it's like this little yodel in the background of this bass track. So it's like yodel, 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 yodel. And it's so
It's a
smooth
real
and it's so
clean, just a driving bass the whole time. It's like you're just getting hit with wave
That's
after
so
wave
funny.
of sound with this goofy little yodel.
That's
It's
so
a great
funny.
song.
It's
Like,
a good time.
I can
I'm
dig
waiting
it.
for
I
somebody
can
to
dig it.
sample it and drop
I
some
feel it.
like major hit
It's
with it. Like somebody's gotta like throw some words over that and make that song everybody's mainstream jam.
I was like surprised, like because kids always like, hey dad, let's listen to she likes the One More Time song from the movie. And I'm like, okay. So now we're just letting the soundtrack stroll and this thing comes on and I'm like, what? And now it's on my download list. Like it jams. It jams.
Nice.
Between that and ATM, excuse me, bitch, has been my two hitters right now.
Nice.
Just because it's fun.
I haven't had my subwoofers in my car in a while. It's been moving.
Dude, I had to take
Because
mine
of the
out.
You did?
Super sad. Yeah, I blew my remote wire. I don't know what I blew. So I got to go find a place to install another wire. Like I did it myself the first time. And apparently I did it wrong because Cadillacs have more wires than a goddamn spaceship in it. So I'm legit. Look it up. It's like, seriously, the most wired car there is. So I'm actually going to bite the bullet and take it to somebody and be like, fix it.
Just so you know.
Fix it.
Just so you know, it's good.
I'm just sick of fucking with it. I want it to be right. I want it. If it doesn't work,
Cadillacs
I'm gonna
are
take it
really
to them.
overcomplicated with everything.
Just their wiring. Their wiring's dumb.
I told Ben one day, I was like, yeah, I just changed the headlights in the caddy. He was like, you what?
You didn't call me
He's like,
first.
he's like, I pay people to do that.
Yeah, that's a bitch. You take the front bumper off all
I was
by
like, well, I
yourself.
mean, where there's a will, there's a way.
Nah,
It's like,
nah. Dumb cars. Dumb cars.
I mean, the Bose systems are pretty nice already.
I mean, it does come with a single
Comes with a
10
pretty
already,
nice
and it's a
Bose.
great mids and highs.
Sounds
It's a
good.
great mids and highs
But
system.
like,
But
if you
throw
want to
two
be
15s in
obnoxious,
there, oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's like little baby Jesus came down from heaven and was like, here is balance to the car. It's amazing. It's amazing. I miss it. The ratchet side of me misses 270 loud, if you know what I mean.
mhm.
And I'm even one of those people that gets like pissed off when people bump in traffic. Like if we're like lane to lane, like there's a time and a place for that shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in your neighborhood at 1 a.m, but I definitely miss rattling my windows.
I feel that. I feel that 100%. I just can't wait to get mine back in the Jeep. The Jeep ain't lasting long though. The Jeep ain't lasting long.
No. Do you remember when I had that big box at the house that had like 8 tens in
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to sit that thing. It was 812s, excuse me. I wanted to set that thing up so bad, but I physically could not fit it in any vehicle.
No.
I had all those amps. I really just wanted
To be fair, Ben, I
would've
don't
broke
think
something.
we could have even fit that in my full size van unless we removed all the seats. And
I
I've never
still
taken the
wanted to
back
do it.
futon out.
An amazing purchase.
It was.
Still upset that it didn't.
It's
sell
all right.
well.
I feel like if we would have done that though, like every body panel would have fallen off of my van and I would have had like
That's
a
the risk
shell.
you take.
Right, you'd have to like
Life,
foam
Ron.
insulate all your panels.
And then I'd be like, what? For the rest of my life?
Excuse me, bitch, right?
It's realistic.
Huh?
It's realistically so
Huh?
bad. It's so bad.
Hold
for
on,
our
look at me
ears.
when you speak. I had a system when I was
I
younger.
don't know. I mean, I had 610s in the back of a Hyundai Accent when I was younger. My dad called it the mile car. He knew when I left to work because I worked about 2 miles down from the road. He'd be like, I heard you leave work and I heard you turn your radio off at the end of the road.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's like, oh, I always knew you were on your way. I mean,
It's a way to keep track of your kids.
Yeah.
Just listen.
it's like, it's
So
like
close.
when you live in the country and your kid's got a 2-stroke and you're like, yeah, he's over there.
You know, it's a funny thing. My mom, now that I'm older and my mom like speaks to me as if I'm an adult as well, finally.
That happens at some point.
Yeah.
Wait, you get there?
I think we're there. She's seeing a new therapist, which I think is really helping. First of all, let me throw that out there. But anyways, she was like, when you guys had your dirt bikes, it was the greatest. Like
Your homing beacons.
all day long, I could hear you. And we had a big enough yard. It was like our front and side yard combined were probably the size of a football field. So it was a good size yard for us to noodle around. And then we had woods around us too. So she was like, as long as I could hear your dirt bikes or giggling, or she's like, as long as I could just hear that hum, I knew everything was fine. She's like, but if it got quiet,
Yep.
that's when I'd get worried and
Yep.
I'd have to like come holler for you. And she's like, if I heard commotion, I just knew everything was fine.
I
But
think that's the rule with kids and pets and everything.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, wait, what's that? Nothing? What? Huh? That's scarier than anything.
Yeah, like you guys are doing something bad.
What are you in? What are you in that you're trying to be quiet about?
Exactly. Yeah, you guys are being sneaky.
No.
yeah, the dirt bikes were definitely the lifesaver. That whole like listening to keep track. Stereos.
I taught my kid a bunch of musical instruments. Always making noise.
Yeah.
I know where
I
you
gotta
are.
be. I will.
Today's restroom break is brought to you by me walking up the stairs. Jordan.
Lots of coffee. Lots of coffee
I know,
Thursdays.
Well, we started drinking coffee pretty early. You came from out of town. Generally, the procedure is breakfast, which entails endless cups of the highest quality coffee Columbus has to offer.
The
Yeah.
highest quality.
Sarcastic. I couldn't treat you enough. I'm sorry.
It came from a bun. It's delicious.
Is it? Well, I mean, you know.
It's from TJ's Country Place. It's my favorite breakfast place.
I can't throw a favorite out.
Routine wise, this one's become my favorite.
They don't. Okay. I just can't use favorite with a place that doesn't serve eggs Benedict. I can't. Man, butter gravy is my fucking favorite thing. Mix that with some baby okies and just some potatoes. Bring me an extra big fat side of it. Put on my hash brown. Like that's life. And I mean,
Ben's passionate about his hollandaise.
I see that.
Butter.
He's
yeah.
really
I mean, he
passionate
even
about
has his
his
own
hollandaise.
terminology for it. I was
Butter
thinking
gravy.
butter gravy, man.
That's
Like
what it
that
is.
is decadent.
you're like, do you
like,
know what they did to make that? They added
Oh, I
butter
know,
and
yeah.
whipped it up. And I'm
yeah,
just
with
like,
lemon, and yeah, it's delicious.
What else
man.
could you want in life?
And they poach the eggs so
Yes.
delicately.
And you
No,
get that
like,
extra trippings. Good
So-
hollandaise is made thick, so the yolk actually enhances it when you break it. It's like, oh. So TJ's is good. I'm with you. I
But
will
for
eat
like our light
for 20 bucks, we can
pre-show
feed the world.
breakfast and all
I
the
just-
coffee we want.
I just can't use favorite without eggs Benny.
they have spinach.
Do they have spinach?
Hmm.
Would
My
need it
answer
if
is
they did.
Probably yes. Well,
Don't get it.
Is it canned spinach?
I mean,
This is gonna be the kind of place that like you say yes to the gravy.
I
Say yes to the gravy.
All right.
It's what heats everything up.
So good. Their
right.
gravy's excellent. Their biscuits are excellent. Like it is down home country
It's
breakfast.
it's
They have
little
other
diner
meals as
place.
well. They have like other food, but we
Lunch.
go there for yes. They
They
have
have-
lunch and dinner.
They have
They have
dessert.
other cuisine.
They have dessert French toast.
I love how you put
So
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 it's
delicately.
you can make it work.
Yeah.
If you'll top my French toast and sauce and fruit and whipped cream.
Okay. I mean,
we'll get through.
Well, your expectations, you're like, okay, if I go to a diner, that's one thing that, and then or if you're going to like a fancy seafood place, like your expectations
this
are
is-
totally
It's
different.
called
Well, that's-
TJ's Country
So,
Place. and it's
right.
a
So
country
knowing that, I
breakfast
would think that
place.
they were probably very friendly and cordial, and their food is
Coffee
probably
is always hot.
smothered in butter and bacon
Well, but it's
grease,
also
and
kind
they
of in the
might use
hood.
lard. They might definitely use a lot of that.
So they also
Yeah.
kind of don't care.
Yeah, there's like this
They got-
element of
plus
fuck you.
they
They're
don't-
just
yeah, like,
lovers.
that's not a cockroach leg. It's a piece of rice. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, just eat it. Like,
But they're getting to know us. They're getting to know us. We're there a lot.
Yeah, most of the servers are pretty heavily tattooed. A couple of them have decent work. There's this one lady that started there not too long ago. She's got a peacock that wraps all around her, and she keeps like talking to us just a little bit more and a little
Yeah.
bit more. Today they were really busy.
She
but
intentionally ignored us today. I noticed that.
there was eye contact made.
I was
She
like-
she acknowledged us.
she's playing court.
Maybe.
She's like, I don't want them to think I'm hovering.
She
Like, I have questions, but it's rude.
And
Other
then
place,
especially like,
like, I
if today it
appreciate
was
that.
just me and Ben, but if like all three of us are there and I happen to be showing off my tatties too, we get
It
looks.
gets to be
We
spectacular.
get looks.
Spectacular.
Sometimes I forget like how different we all look when we're together and we're as tattooed as we are when we're around. We call them normies, but that's not a
Normies.
derogatory thing.
Right. When you
No,
got three people fully tatted, it's like a presence.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I forget because
like, oh,
I'm
these are
just so
tatted-
used
these
to
are
being
tatted people.
surrounded
So
by
what we
people
should
that are
do-
covered.
Is just start charging people money.
You have to bring a curtain or something
Chart-
everywhere you go.
right.
Like,
That's
That's
be
a
like-
fantastic.
Come
Yeah,
off,
I mean,
come
I-
off your head,
Let 'em-
and
let-
then have a
let-
sign right in front of
Anything
you.
other than
Yeah.
like,
Someone ring the bell.
hey, how are you?
Can't see it. Can't see
You can see
anything.
my legs.
Immediately
Stand on the
enter
side of the
into a
road.
verbal contract. You got your glance. Everything else is $5.
Well, how far are we going here?
That's it.
To bridge, like, I mean,
I wasn't gonna remove clothes, but how
Well-
much cash? How deep does your wealth and curiosity want to go?
The amazing
Or-
tattooed person.
Or the other way we could run it is when people ask about our tattoos when we're together, we could be like,
Would you like a tattoo podcasting business card?
Oh,
Where we
yeah.
discuss our tattoo collections, and I don't have to feel like a freak taking my shirt off in the bathroom at a tattoo convention.
but what I was
In
thinking
the
was
bathroom. You can go in the bathroom and do
That was a very
Somebody-
specific thing. I'm serious. I'll tell it later.
if we start keeping track of like people that interact with us, like when we're together or when we're by ourselves, make it a point to like take a picture with them and then make a little like journal entry of what our conversation was about. And then we could start compiling that and start like seeing how our reactions and interactions are.
Wow, that's a lot of work for.
Well, that's why I'm saying like if like when we're together, if we happen to be together and we're already like usually talking tattoos and doing the things anyways, just pull up a little note on our phone, grab a selfie with one of us and call it a day.
I really like the opportunity to be like, hey, not trying to be a dick.
But
I
if you
talk
want me to
about my
take some
tattoos
time-
all the time. If you want to hear about them,
Yeah.
www.stopthisconversation.com.
I'm with Ben.
Because it goes immediately from that to, so where do you work and when can I schedule? I'll take it.
Well, here's my
I'm
business
not-
card.
Because I don't tattoo people. So what appointment do you want? You want your roof inspected? That wasn't
for
what you
that.
were expecting, was it?
I got you.
I get asked frequently where I work and when they can get on my books.
what books are you
What
talking
books
about?
do you think? I do collect deposits though.
Yeah.
Cash.
I think I'm down to start if you want to be the first.
I mean, we've been talking about blackouts. It's been a blackout.
I like the birthday party Ben
Scab out.
better.
Yeah. Nah. You got a bad splat mat. You want to black out your back tattoo. You gotta, remembrance
So
of the
for
80s
those of
that
you
just-
who are unaware, a splat mat is a colorful one of my favorites.
You're the one that taught it to me,
I
so you
taught it to
can't
you.
even be mad.
Okay, I taught it too, but that's a colorful reference to what we would normally call a lower back tattoo
No, that's not what you would normally call it.
or
No.
a tramp
There we
stamp.
go, because that's what everybody calls it. So, and that's a very specific tattoo. That's not just a lower back tattoo. Okay, a tramp stamp is tribal.
It's too much. We can't start trends like
It's
that.
2 different colors.
Make
It's
people hate their
busted
tattoo.
lines.
Busted
It's like
line.
3/4 of the way faded because you got it in Florida on vacation with your drunk girlfriend from the sorority house at Jim Bob's Backyard Tattoo and Surf Shop
Oh,
or whatever. I
Ben,
mean,
were you there?
Ben, yours
let me tell you how many
everything
times
is
I have heard that exact
so
same
oddly
story.
specific. Everything.
When I did tattoo removal, you wouldn't be surprised the trend of, well, see, so I was on this vacation and me and my girlfriend, and now I want this pineapple off. And you're like, nope, sorry. No, it was literally like the majority of the people you contacted were spur of the moment, on vacation, get a tattoo, go to the beach, never healed right. They got sand in it on day 2. The person that bandaged them up sent them out with a paper towel and a piece of duct tape and was like, there you go, have fun at Myrtle. And like,
Again, were you there?
yeah, I've been there like 38 times. You know what I mean? I've literally had to look people in the eye and go, yeah. And then you went and stood in the fucking sun, didn't you? Like, you went right out and was like, hey, I should destroy this. Do you know what would be cool? Not having this tattoo. Yeah, it was a lot. It was frequent. It was all the time. It got to be taxing. Especially the older ones from like the 90s. You realize that's not like in an area of your skin that can be retrieved and removed now, right? Like that's floated down into the base layers and expanded, and it's no longer in a layer of skin that can be reached.
Oh, and you've been in tanning beds multiple days a week for the last
vacation.
But I'm talking about when they got to get ready for the vacation.
Yeah.
They got to have their
Gotta
base
get that
tan.
base tan, baby. You know, they're ginger and they gotta like roast the skin just a touch before they can get back out there. They die 30 minutes in this.
Because they're like they're basting themselves.
Come on, we all know people that are paler than these walls that can't spend more than 15 minutes outside without red ash cheeks.
Have you met me?
Bright red legs.
Have you met me?
I was just trying to be polite, Fawn.
I'm just saying.
There's several people in my life. That
I'm
are
just
like
saying.
Several.
I ain't never met you.
I don't even know you.
If you ever go adventuring with me, I'm like, hold on, I've got sunblock. Do you want SPF 70 or 100?
You know we want that 100.
We have options.
We got expensive skin.
Other people are like, I've got 15.
15 for what? What are you doing with that? What, you spray that on your clothes?
Maybe if I'm wearing a sheer shirt and I'm additional, I don't.
Just give me $3 and go burn. You're just gonna waste money. Just give it to me. Shut up.
Man. You know, it's a funny discussion about sunblock. There are some people that are like, there's so many toxins in it. Da, da, da. And we had this conversation earlier. Like, can I pronounce all the names in sunblock? No, but I've had sunburns that were so bad that I couldn't sleep for multiple days. So I'll roll the dice, and because I know that radiation is probably way worse for me than whatever's in that can.
It's about a consistency.
And it really is.
Remember your eyes? Like, I remember you told me that story about your eyes. Yes. To this day, I'm like, you guys got to wear sunglasses in the water.
Totally. Have you ever gotten your eyeballs sunburnt, like on a boat where you didn't have like polarized lenses and your eyes got burnt from the light bouncing up off of the water?
Snow.
It happens to people that wear hats. Like they'll shade their eye here, but their eyeballs, the actual like eyeball.
I don't know if I've ever. I mean, I've definitely.
It'll just feel like sandpaper.
I never
for
knew
a few
there was
days
that,
after.
but I'm sure
people that fish a lot deal with it a lot. Same with snow blindness. And so when I used to drive a lot for running delivery or whatever for dry cleaners, you're out in the snow, and snow blindness was the worst because it didn't have to be very bright, and you would turn the corner and it was literally like a glare and you could see absolutely nothing. It was sketchy.
I always
made it through. It's all right.
I always keep
Definitely
extra
been
sunglasses in my vehicles.
I'm a sunglass nerd and have been for like.
You know, I think
if
this
there's
might be
one
one
thing
of the
I
points where it's
spoil
like,
myself on,
you're an
it's
Oakley nerd
glasses.
too.
Yeah.
We could probably be friends.
I mean, I see you like.
I love to
use
spoil
one
myself.
body.
I love to get. I
Are
love
those
new
gas
sunglasses,
cans?
but I lose them and break them so often that I cannot spend money on them. I always afraid of buying an expensive pair because of how much I cannot
I
take
taught
care
myself,
of any cheap pairs.
Like literally, that was
20
like
bucks.
the.
That's it.
Right.
It's like the maximum.
Because I don't-
I will break them.
Yeah.
That was literally like how, as a younger 20, 21-year-old, I was like, no, you're gonna have something fucking nice. This is what you're gonna have. You're gonna take care of it. If you scratch it, you're wearing jacked up scrap hinges. It's your punishment. And it like I'm not trying to say I taught myself responsibilities with nice sunglasses, but like it definitely was a learning moment in my life.
Taught you to care for your
I remember the
things.
first time I was like, I've had these
You're like, this
glasses
is why I can have
for
nice
6
things.
months and I haven't scratched them. Good
So I
job
want to
creating
talk
new
about-
habits and healthy
Proud of you,
environments.
Well, we jumped down the rabbit hole.
And
of
that's the
snow
real
blindness
lesson
and
there.
sunglasses.
We can always overcome.
Take care of yourself. You
So
know?
these are
Right.
my
Treat
favorites.
yourself and
These
then
are my
take care of the
current-
things you treated yourself with.
These are my most current favorites. And I was wearing them mowing the lawn about a week and a half ago,
Just disappointed.
and I got hit in my lens, and I didn't even realize it until later in the day where I was like cleaning them with the polishing cloth, and the lens is spider webbed, and it's like right in the middle. So
Do you know how bad I want to say no doubt right now? But I won't.
I totally walked into some spider webs, man. So
Oh, another
these
crack.
things probably saved my eyesight
Well, that's what Oakley's,
while I was out in the yard work.
most people
So
don't realize that they're the highest
they're,
impact rating.
yep, they're
sunglasses.
shatterproof
Yeah.
lenses. The way that they layer the polycarbonate is actually what makes Oakley's special. But
That's
it's
why
kind of cool that I
military
can
uses
see
it.
the outer layer is spider web, but the inner layer is totally fine. It was like, thank you, Oakley. If I didn't already have faith in you and wear you with safety glasses, I would now.
I caught a rock to the face at about 60
Mhm.
on the bike off the back of a gravel truck, and it literally hit me in the glasses.
Yeah.
Oakley's ever since.
Yep. I've
Because
done
I literally pulled them off my face. Like, okay, that was sweet. I had a little bit of bruise on my face, but like that could have gone super, super, super worse.
I think I was about
Yeah.
14 when I started like cycling seriously. And that's when it was like, I
Mhm.
need to get some nice sunglasses.
Mhm.
And I've been an Oakley girl
No
always.
alcohol.
But yeah,
Praise Oakley.
I told my
So I-
eyesight got saved a couple weeks ago.
I'm a
Thanks,
little-
universe.
I'm a little disappointed in myself because when I had to switch to wearing prescriptions, the only product available was Ray-Bans. And I was like, okay, I hate them. Like they bother me. They like disrupt my soul. And I just don't have it in me to go spend more money on more glasses after just going through that process. So I'm just,
Could you just take your prescription and order from Oakley?
you want to talk about doubling the price of an expensive pair of sunglasses? Whoop, there it is. So
Fair.
yes, I can do that.
Fair.
I-
Oakley's could be
eventually
like
I
500
will.
bucks with quickness.
Boom. And it's like, hey.
Not that if you take care of them. Yeah.
Well, and I will. I'll get there. I'll get back to
Like
that.
you can
but
drop. I mean, if you're dropping money on something, then
Yeah.
it's definitely.
I'm not.
You know that you're gonna
It's more of I just made the commitment of 2 prescription pairs of sunglasses, or a pair of prescription sunglasses and 2 pairs of glasses. So I already just spent a significant amount of money on my eyeballs. To then turn around and do that again was a little like
Maybe a Christmas gift for
a
yourself.
Christmas gift. I ain't
Give me
Christmas.
some.
Christmas. Nothing.
Christmas. Are
Only
you
if,
a Grinch?
only if they go on sale. I
Are you
hate
a Grinch
Christmas.
fan?
I absolutely do. I'm
You
a,
know,
you're
it the
allowed to put the
commercialism, or-
Christmas. Yes, I hate it.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate an obligatory gift. If
Mm.
you are at the 99-cent store and you see something that reminds me of you, if you know what I mean, I'd prefer a trinket and a honest thought, a little bag with a ribbon on it that you genuinely had a moment and said, this was $5,
Mhm.
but it rang my bell about you. That's more significant than, well, I gotta buy you something. It's
Oh,
Christmas.
yeah.
And I'm a curmudgeon old man. Like I'm very persnickety in the things that I like, and I'm very specific in the things that I like. And it's like, why did you waste your money on something? I would have preferred a moment. I would have preferred a trinket. I would have preferred you to been like, hey, this reminded me of you, so let's go do something.
So one
Um,
thing my family started
don't buy
doing,
me shit.
we're kind of, I don't know, we celebrate for the sake of the kids, but as adults, we're not really, like none of us are really super into the holidays other than like making it special for the kids. So instead of like the obligatory gift for like all the nephews and all the nieces and I started just doing like a dinner, like
let's do
not
something.
not on
That's a good idea.
Christmas,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
usually after New Year's or like that week between Christmas and New Year's, depending on how vacations and stuff fall. But I usually just end up doing like a big family dinner. Like
Right.
hibachi places are super good because everybody can like get together and talk and kind of visit, but there's no pressure for anybody to cook or have the cleanup or so. But that's kind of what I enjoy doing rather than the obligatory gift. Like now we've all spent the time together and
Right. Well,
Good
even
idea, yeah.
even like on a family level, it's like when you realize that no one in your family actually knows you well enough to buy you something you like. And now you're stuck in this uncomfortable, like,
Personally, I love
oh yay, a plain blue Old Navy hoodie.
I love getting-
I needed another
See,
one of these.
exactly
And
though. I love getting
it's obligatory. Like,
I love getting gifts, but
Well, what if it's something they collected like at the beginning of like, okay, I have things that I have found throughout the year, like even just stupid shit like a rock that I'm like, oh man, this is dope.
If you
You know,
find me
and
a
I
dope
save it,
rock,
like, and I save that stuff. And
I'm
so
in.
at, you know, like
That's
Christmas, I'm
different.
like, okay, then, you know,
so you know what that's a gift.
well, yeah.
That's
But how
not
do you
a-
like
an-
differentiate something where it's like, okay, well, you obviously bought this last minute. Like you think that's like with anything, you know, like if you can tell that they spent the time and they genuinely thought of you when they
Right.
got this, and say
Right.
it was like back
Like,
last
You
year.
took a bag of candy and you tied a little, candy cane rope on it. You wrote my name on a tag. That was a moment of time that you spent preparing that for me. I would rather have that
Right.
because you had a thought process. You walked through and you said, Ben would love this coffee cup.
Mhm.
I don't care if it's $2. It's that moment of thought in your head is what's significant.
Right.
I don't need you to feel the need to go, okay, I have to buy Ben something. Let's find him a gift I can wrap.
Right.
Is it something plain? Is it whatever it is? It's a non-connection. It's an obligation. I don't want anybody to feel obligated to buy me anything.
so
Ever.
when I
Like
was in Las
compelled,
Vegas this
you
last
know.
time with my buddy Clayton that I talked about a lot, he was like, I want to get some stuff for the kids. And the kids is what he like, it's his blanket term for his staff at his multiple businesses.
Love it.
So it's like,
Love it.
I just want to get some things for the kids. So he always gets them like little trinkets or t-shirts or things like that. And while we were looking around and looking for things like with everybody's like personalized names on them, and he just got them like little license plate that said Las Vegas for their keychains. Like, but anyways, he's like, it's really cool. Like I've traveled so much and I've been to so many places. It's really weird to even like get more souvenirs or trinkets. He's like, I got so much clutter. I've got like storage and things and cars. And he's like, I got everything I need. He's like, but when I give these souvenir t-shirts to the people that work for me and I give them these keychains, when I see the people that I care about wearing these things that I brought back for them, then the memory comes back for
Right.
me. And I was like, what a cool thought. What a cool,
Yeah.
like, and it is a cool way to like let everybody know that he took the time to think of them. But at the same time, it's a really neat reminder for him where he just randomly sees it when they happen to like wear that shirt or like carry that water bottle or so I thought that was a cool, like while we're on the obligatory gift front, I thought that was a really cool motivation to like get souvenirs for people.
Right.
Like, to remind yourself, like it's a gift for somebody else, but now you get to share
Yeah.
that gift and that gift
Feel
is
like-
now a
Enjoy the
reminder
I feel
for
like
you.
get away from the
Mhm.
obligatory
Yeah.
thing and start thinking about like it's like the thought that's put into it. Especially if
Yeah.
it's just like I get a blue sweatshirt. It's like, oh, I don't like wearing blue. When the
Not-
fuck have I ever worn a blue shirt?
Not even
Like-
that. You think if I
It's like
needed
you
a
didn't
blue
think
plain
about
hoodie in my
you just felt
wardrobe,
like you had to get me something.
that's
not the,
out of my
not
reach.
the fact that
That's
like,
out of my scope. You think I couldn't have gone to Old Navy?
right. And it's
There's
like I
one
don't need
fuck,
any. I
like-
don't need anything at all.
Don't
It's,
like
but it's like
obligation.
put the
Right.
thought
This kinda
the thought
makes me
into
think-
it where it's me, in some sort of way. So
It's like when
that-
somebody gives you
where
soap.
it's like I gotta get this person.
Like, did you really think when you got that?
With the exception of me, I'm a really good person to give soap to because I like natural handmade soap. So I would never be put off if
All
somebody
natural
gave me
handmade
soap.
soaps can be sent to Von Baker, right?
But I can definitely say I do love receiving gifts, and pretty much any gifts. If you thought of me enough to even like hand me something, I don't know. I enjoy that, but I don't want people to ever feel like, in Christmas or anything like
Yeah.
that, like they have to get me something, because then I always feel like there's also like this like level of guilt where it's like, I got you something last year,
Yeah.
and last year, it's
Nah.
like, well, I haven't seen you in 3 years. I don't, like,
I
I
didn't
don't
even know you were coming.
know.
So one of the things this is making me think of is like how some of my clients tip.
Yeah.
Some clients have the most thoughtful tips and gifts that they bring in. Like every now and then clients will bring in crystals or rocks. Perfect. I had a client bring me, he had a sea urchin die in his saltwater tank. And then once he
Producers
just had
raised
the
back
carcass
then.
of the sea urchin, he brought it in for
That's
me.
awesome.
So like one of my
Yeah.
sea urchins was actually one that my client raised. It's kind of a, I don't know, sea urchins are special to creative people, I suppose.
Mhm.
I don't, if I am tipping, I have a homies only tattoo policy, right? So like, I feel weird if you are my friend and I asked you how much you want for your service.
That's Eon.
Tell
If you
me how
guys
much
hear
you
the
want
heavy
for your
breathing,
service. Yeah.
he's a good boy.
He's upset
Um,
that we're not talking to him.
I prefer tips to be, let's buy dinner, let's go out at some point, let me help you move, when do you need help?
Yeah, that's an
How,
excellent tip,
let's, I'd rather be involved in your life than hand you more money.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, people
If-
bring me snacks.
If you're broken, that's what you need, and I know that we're friends. Fuck yeah, here's all the money you need. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I just feel like at some point it gets weird. There's a weird line. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Or indifferent.
Well, I mean, it's more thoughtful. Like I've had people bring me in like, skulls, and I had a lady bring me in tarantula sheddings.
Right.
Yeah, that she knew that I would be able to like use in the projects that I make, and
I generally bring
guess-
things you can smoke.
that too. Like I get some, like, flowers, and I mean, those are
Flowers
I get
are always
candy
nice
too.
tips.
Yeah, I get candies too. Like
Mhm.
those are nice. So
Yeah.
yeah, anything thoughtful.
I don't like getting stuff that it's like, you definitely don't know me.
I've never gotten a tip that I was like, what the fuck
Tips,
is this?
tips. I've
gotten
never,
one like
I've
that.
never gotten a weird tip. I've never gotten a weird tip
Yeah.
like
So
that.
one of my clients,
But in
the other
terms of
day,
like,
I've
gift,
gotten like coin change before, and I was like,
she brought me this tin. It was
Yeah, nope. Go to the ATM.
it was one of the special edition tins that had a bottle of tequila in it, but it was like a kaleidoscope. It was like hot pink and green and yellow. and
yeah.
It looked like Southwest kaleidoscope.
Ooh.
But it was like sitting on like the table in our break area at the shop. And somebody was like, why is that tin out here? I was like, oh, my client saw it and thought I'd like it. And I turned it around and they were like, oh, yeah, that totally looks like you. It wasn't a tip. It was just I thought you might like this to put stuff in.
Yeah.
Like,
This reminded me of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
day,
she could
every
have
day,
just
I'll
as
take
quickly thrown it away, but now I have like a cool tin because
Ye-
like you've seen how cluttery my coffee table is. I need
Right.
more catch-alls.
What's the weirdest tip that you've gotten? Like something where you're like, thank you, it's cool, but you're like,
I got tipped a car.
A car?
I didn't take it though.
How'd
didn't
that
want
go
oh,
down?
It was just like $1,000 car after we
Yeah.
got done with doing this big tattoo. It's like a big back peacock thing. And yeah, she's like, I got this car. If you want that for a tip, I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm like,
Yeah, that sounds
like, how
warm.
much is-
You're like,
I mean, that sounds like a lot of work.
Is it
I'm
hot?
like, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna cost me. I didn't need a car at the time. It was just gonna cost me to take it. I don't even
That sounds
need
like
it.
a lot of paperwork.
Right,
Yeah.
paperwork, money that the or the DMV is gonna want, or the
Yeah.
BMV to you guys.
Hmm.
Crazy.
I don't know.
DMV.
I don't know if I've gotten
Bureau
anything like
Department.
alarmingly weird or anything. I've had clients give me plants.
that's nice.
I've had,
Yeah, I'm generally a smoke and eat.
yeah.
I tip a lot with
I've
smoke
been
and
given lots of
eats.
psychedelics.
I had a person.
Isn't it
Bring
funny how
in-
universe just like drops it in your lap sometimes?
That's when you're supposed to take it.
I've had one. I had like, this is a story from a client that happened a while ago because of psychedelics. This kid, I didn't even want them at this time. Like I still like this kid knew me from like years before that, back when like, I dabbled and stuff, and knew me as someone who like did more psychedelics and did a lot more raving and like weird hippie stuff when I was younger.
You're like, oh no,
Like,
bro,
I
I'm
lived the
not
life, but-
17 anymore.
Yeah, and so he would come in just like all hardcore wooked out, just super bass nectar. Super bass nectar like fan and stuff, and like he's cool, but he was like overwhelmingly like, he'd come in tripping and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you cannot come into the tattoo shop tripping. He'd come in for his appointment tripping balls. He'd be trying, he'd be giving me a
Not
bunch
at
of
all.
he'd be giving me a strip of acid as a tip, like right in front of like my boss, who was like cool with it, but at the same time I'm like, I don't want to, like, there are other people in the room right now. There's handing it to me. And
Truth is
so
a
then
thing.
one time he randomly comes into my shop. I had two owners of Sacred. There was Josh and there was Steven. Josh was not as cool about those types of things and definitely didn't want that shit in his business. Like, people running around on acid, exchanging acid in the middle of the room. And so he comes in one day and he's like, hey, give this to Jordan, to Josh, and gives him like 20 hits of acid in a tinfoil. And Josh like he puts it in his hand, just puts it in his hand,
Jeez.
like shakes his
Wow.
hand, puts it in his hand.
Dude, I
Josh
So
comes to
you're
me
like,
and he's like, here, this is for you
One of
from
the
your
slickest,
client, I guess.
one of
And
the
I'm
s-
like, no fucking
one of the
shit.
slickest ways I've ever been gifted chemistry. Somebody gave me a button, like a little button that you put on like a backpack strap or whatever, just a button. And I was like, oh, cool, thank you. And like, I thought it was cool. They gave me a little button that somebody took the time to make, and it like had a little logo on it, their logo. And as we like parted ways, they were like, open that up. And there were, I think, 3 or 4 hits inside the button. So it was just the coolest one.
Forced you to take my drugs.
I mean, or
Very
not,
nice.
You didn't even have
I
an
mean,
option.
it was somebody who had already gifted me materials before. So it definitely wasn't like, yeah.
shady, you know.
yeah, it wasn't shady at all, but it was like, oh,
It was clever.
I thought it was cool you were giving me a button.
I was pumped on just a button.
Now I got to break the button. Can I get another button?
Can I put this one back together?
If you're listening, and I know you know who you are, I need another button.
Don't give my boss acid.
All 3 buttons can be sent to Connor.
Please.
www.
Give it at least directly to me.
Yeah, I remember managing body language. They had a very, very, very strict. You couldn't smell like weed. You couldn't appear to be stoned. You couldn't have any type of interaction, including any type of substance, any type of materials, any type of anything. It was very like, you just said what? Like very, 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 very strict. And it was odd. Almost to like the oppressingly odd point.
Before I opened my own studio, I
That
worked at a
is very
shop where
impressive.
everybody was like
I know,
that's
sober.
impressive.
So I wasn't a heavy smoker
I'm
then, but
sorry,
I was
that's-
definitely
Relatively oppressive.
discreet about it. Like I was just respectful. Like Dot knew that I smoked, but I just didn't smoke at work. We'd actually like go for a drive when I wanted to smoke. I'd like leave and smoke, and I'd come back baked, and she knew I was baked. But like I was still like discreet about it, and I tried not to reek of a skunk too bad.
Again,
I have yet
Yeah.
to
The
work
windows
for
down,
anyone
way
who I had
back,
to be
you know.
discreet.
There's a few
Air
fragrances
dogs.
that anything that's got like a hyacinth base is going to really balance out the smell of weed. If anybody's listening and wants to know.
or just
Don't go straight
get
for the
stoned at
patchouli.
work.
Yeah, how about you just don't smoke weed?
Well,
Like,
sometimes
geez,
you'll like
guys.
blow down and clam bake, and then somebody will call you and be like, "Oh yeah, I can come help with that," and you already smell like a raging skunk. I was checking the skunks in the lawn out.
See, the funny thing
Oh,
is,
I got sprayed.
you know what you just do? You just look them dead in the face.
Now
and
let's
you go,
tattoo.
HIPAA laws, bitch. Because now it's medication and you can fuck off.
Before I chopped my
smell like
hair off,
whatever
I
I
would look
want.
people in the eye and be like, "I have dreadlocks. You know
Sorry,
what I
my
was
shit's-
doing."
Right.
I mean, not to say that all
You know what I'm
dreadlocks, not that all people that wear dreadlocks smoke weed.
Way to classify
But-
everybody fine.
I bet most do.
It is a way to filter out the things that you wouldn't want, though. So it's like if you're gonna hire someone with dreadlocks, like obviously no, they probably smoke weed. You're gonna be cool with it if they accept you. So there's like that
Kinda
understanding.
little-
We don't even have to talk. You don't even have to talk about it.
You don't
It
have
can
to
be
wear the
unspoken.
shirt to the party type of situation. They just kind of out.
Right.
You're right.
But then you also can't assume because then the stereotype.
It's true. Maybe it is.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I've never known anyone who had dreadlocks. They're out there. They're out there.
All right, throwing the challenge out there, people listening. If you have dreadlocks and do not consume materials, chime
Reach
in.
out. We'd love to
Chime
hear
in.
from you.
I want to hang out. Listen to
I
your
love
life choices.
unicorns.
Yeah, let's hear this.
I love
Let's do
unicorns.
this.
They're
Let's
the
figure out
best.
what it's about. Let's figure out what it's
Unicorns?
about. Unicorns.
You know, magical, mythical.
Oh, the
That
mythical
may or
creature.
may-
Oh, the
may
mythical
not
creatures
exist.
out there.
Exceptions to the rules.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like a ginger with a soul.
James
You know?
Franco.
Oh, I see. I see.
Didn't
I
that
see.
before? James Franco?
Yeah.
I don't
the
know.
actor,
I
because-
wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he played like a super pothead, but
I
he
mean,
doesn't
he
do
was in
any
Pineapple
fucking drugs.
Express.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he doesn't do any drugs.
Really?
Yes.
Who doesn't even smoke weed?
wonder how successful
No,
I'd be.
like
if
not
I
now
didn't
or
smoke
never?
weed.
Like the other dude was
I
fucking
wouldn't leave the
high the
house.
whole movie. But James Franco was
Right, I
sober,
probably
like, he
would
was-
have died
he
of
doesn't do
anxiety when I
them,
was
or
like
he
18.
At the very least, didn't do them. It was, yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, supposed to. I guess I don't think he does them. I don't think he does
Hmm.
any drugs.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
think that he would?
Hmm.
He's
Good
fucking
for
hilarious, dude. He's, that's like saying Dave Chappelle doesn't really smoke weed. You're like, what?
Yeah, I've seen him do it.
Yeah, I'm like, you sure?
Hey, he openly
That's
smokes.
acting.
That's not a cigarette on stage.
Yeah, that pen he's hitting. I don't think it's a nicotine.
It's not sick. Douche flute. People up.
Douche
comment.
Yeah, I like douche flute. That's my.
I call it a douche flute. So I'm like, fuck it, dude. I will just take the punishment. I call it a douche flute. You can't hurt my feelings.
Just
That's what I call
own
it.
Just
Yep,
own
just
it.
own it.
That's me. What's
Where's
up?
my douche flute at,
Yeah,
kids?
what's
Yeah, when I'm on the if I've got some good cartridges and I'm walking around cheaping on mine all the time, it's definitely a douche flute. It's like a pacifier is what it is. It just like
Yeah. You kind of do. You hold it. Even though you're not doing anything with it.
it's like
you
a
hold it.
comforting, like
It is.
I can get high the second.
Yeah.
Be jealous.
Douche flutes, splat mats. You got all these terms fun.
I mean,
You're
Fonz taught me
colorful
a lot.
today.
Yeah.
Fonz taught me a lot. I'm just saying. I wasn't near this crass until I met this young lady.
I am what made you cry.
Yeah, I used to be soft as otter paws. What are you talking about? Jeez. What do you want
Oh,
to
I
hear?
don't believe it for a
I don't even
second.
want to hear it.
I don't believe it for a
Yeah,
second.
nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
So back to tattoos.
Yeah. Sorry, we ramble. That's what we do.
No, okay.
Yeah, we also got 2,000 videos of UFOs to sift through. I figured we
Jeez,
would spend the
guys.
rest of the last hour and a half doing that.
That sounds miserable, Jordan. Can I just be honest with you, bro? I got like 7 minutes in me.
7 minutes. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Do you want to dedicate a 7-minute segment?
I want to dedicate 0 minutes, but now I know where you stand.
Jordan's like the line has been drawn. Clearly. Understood. He's gonna push it to 6:59 every time.
I
Oh, we're going
just
45.
got the largest Scooby snack in the world, like instant karma for talking smack about aliens. So I reject my previous
They
statement.
got you.
Universe listening.
It was like, oh, do you want to die and choke on that skull?
Universe
No,
is
everyone
always
will be
listening.
very bored watching those. I don't want to do that for
I
45 minutes.
don't hate it, honestly. But my thing is I don't
I just didn't know, like, I don't know.
I want to focus, and that creates zero talking. So when you turn it on, I'm like,
No, we want 45 minutes of straight silence.
just
That's
stare
what
at
I'm
the
going for.
screen. There's aliens. It's all encompassing. I can't talk and alien.
I'm kidding. I don't want any of that.
Don't lie to me, Jordan. You're not kidding at
You know
all.
I want it. You know I want it.
I won't.
You know I ain't gonna get it.
Oh, somebody
We have
wants
45 minutes of UFO videos.
Aw.
I couldn't be so lucky.
I'm
So-
saying let's do that when there's not mics on.
Y'all be blessed one day.
One day we'll sit and watch them. We could just like get big together and maybe play around with some chemistry and watch them together. I've got a plethora of materials just waiting for occasions to partake.
Just saying.
We will. We will.
So anybody got any cool projects coming up?
I almost finished a really cool one last night.
That
We
one's
got
really
one
coming along.
final touch-up session on that. I can't wait.
She's a trooper. You got a
Mhm.
lot in there.
That was a really cool
He's-
piece.
He was working on this girl. It's like her from the below the knee all the way up above like the crest of the hip. It takes up like the whole outer round part of the leg, hip, thigh.
Okay.
It's giant, but it's really, really coming along. Are you pulling up
Show
pictures
me,
of it?
Show me. Give it to my baby.
We could talk about.
We
the
got
feature
some new
working on-
tricks.
on my leg.
Yeah. So Monday, right? Or
Mon-
Sunday? Is it Monday?
Monday. I hope
So
it-
Monday, we got a day set aside. What are we working on?
We're working on sleeping out my left leg down to my toes.
You
Toesies.
guys are working on something?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay, what are you guys
Yeah.
doing?
Just kind of some thumb bio going in and out of what I have existing. I've got a couple of
Is that-
pieces.
Is that working into Adrian's pieces?
No, it's on the other side. 'Cause I've got a little bit more space and but I did not want to get my other foot done, but I've decided I changed my mind.
I won't beat it up
Oof.
too bad. What do you want to do
Well,
on the
it's just
foot?
that-
I didn't really think feet were
We
that
talked
bad.
about doing this like pomegranate crystal thing that sounded really sweet.
I've got some of the raddest pomegranate references set back. It's gonna be so colorful.
Yeah.
Granite
Yeah.
You know, like a
Crystals?
crystallized pomegranate.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in. I'm just saying, show me.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it, man. Like, pretty excited.
The deep nod
That's really
says
dope.
it all.
I am
Yeah.
super excited. Yeah, I am. Like, I'm
It'll be the start of a journey because
Yeah,
it'll take a while
Yeah.
to get there. There's a lot of open territory that we got to consider. So
and
maybe big.
yeah, it's a big piece. Time is
How do you feel starting a huge
an important
project?
ingredient. How do I feel about starting
Yeah.
a huge project?
Yeah.
I feel like, when you start a huge project, you have to be willing to dedicate to it,
Absolutely.
because you want to, give your artist freedom. So the time, whatever time it really allows, or, that you just have to allow that time.
That's something we talk about on here a lot, is having that available time and trust
Yeah.
that, yes, they might be saturating for the second time. Yes, they might be saturating for the third time. Their idea might be loose and you don't understand the vision, and you have to have that longevity type of mindset and dedication to it. And it's a lot of that's why so many people have unfinished tattoos, and they start the process and realize they're not as comfortable with it as they realized, and
Yeah.
now suddenly it's daunting to finish. So it's a hard thing to express to somebody that don't jump into projects you're not mentally and physically committed to. Like,
Right.
we literally talk about it all the time. So
Yeah, no,
it's
super
nice to hear
fucking
from somebody
important.
else. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm approaching this with common sense.
Yes. No,
Well, it's common sense to us because we're in the world. you know?
We're in it. Yeah, we live it every day.
yeah. So, and being excited about it, like, honestly, I feel like you sometimes kind of get to a point where you're like, man, like, I really kind of ouchy spots left to work on, and you're like not as excited. You're not, and you get older and you're like, this just isn't as fun.
You just
as it used
described
to be.
my collective.
But like, I feel like excited like I have before in the past. Like I feel really excited about
with
it.
larger
Good.
collections, you get to a point where you're kind of wrapping up the voids.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I never envisioned the level of collection that I had. So to see the gaps that I didn't have a plan for, forcing art is
Yeah.
kind of cool. And seeing people that are like, do you see that spot right there? You know what we should do? That's really cool to me too, because it's inspiring to somebody else to fill that gap now.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
weird.
well, and like bio, it's kind of the organic nature of it allows you to flow, and there's definitely space. Like, I wanted to give you the larger space that I had, and as much as I could, like, down to the foot. 'Cause I feel like let's just sleep it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it all real. So the big idea is just to kind of like be a real graceful and elegant bio, kind of like in the style of Kaya Hetland. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You can pull some of her
Her
work
work's
up.
awesome.
She
Just
is beautiful.
very like natural, flowy.
Pull it up, J-Doggy.
It's okay. Catch your breath, man. Get it out. Get it out.
Doing both.
Did you catch a Scooby too?
What?
Did you catch a Scooby too?
I might have. Those damn hemp wraps. I'm just kidding. I actually like those a lot.
These are Al Capone wraps. Nice and smooth, delicious.
Tastes like a cognac.
What's going on?
Only you know,
There's a new
Jordan.
way to screen share, and Jordan's figuring it out. We got to run through it a few times. It'll be okay.
I'm
I'm okay with the 4 buttons that I have to run here. Outside of that, nope,
No.
not the computer
Well,
guy.
what we have is
I keep getting promoted to head of IT at work because I know how to hook up the printer to there.
I can show you how to run sound on that device too. So you can, like, this would be
Are you
one
trying to
line
give me
in,
more jobs?
and then you can turn the sound on the cameras on. Like, say we had the cameras placed
Oh, there you go.
accordingly, we could use the sound off of these as well. Yeah, that box is a pretty powerful little thing. And then the other thing is that doesn't have to be, once we have a few other things set up, we could, in theory, stream directly from that box without a laptop. I could put a SIM card in that and we wouldn't even need to tether to Wi-Fi or anything.
Well, welcome to the 6-minute tech talk.
I know. It was mind bending when I found that device.
It's funny to me because when I used to be involved in stereo equipment, it was all the size of the table. So like everything was mammoth and huge and
To
huge
see these
processors.
little pocket size
Yeah,
versions
like,
that I
I
found.
mean, I was a kid when I was
Mhm.
doing so like 15, 16. So this stuff is
Yeah, she like prints her own cloth and like weaves her own baskets and makes her own jewelry, and she does a lot of really neat things.
Are you screen sharing that now?
Yeah, she's definitely got a style of her own and everything that she does, but there's just this really graceful flow to everything. Everything looks like it's
Wow.
growing. Everything looks almost like a
Very orchid mantisy
Mhm.
and xenomorphy. Look like a xenomorph queen.
I understood 2 or 3 of those words you just said.
The alien from the movie Aliens.
Oh, nope, missed it.
It's okay. They're called xenomorphs.
Okay,
That's what they call them.
gotcha.
And then there's a queen. And so that's the queen. That's what her head looks like. But it's also a mantis. And it's also kind of an orchid. At least in my eye.
She does do a lot of orchid looking
Mhm.
pieces.
I love what she does with just like the flow of like leafery. She does a lot of like, it
Did you just
almost
say
looks like
leafery?
leafery. Yeah,
Leafery?
Yeah.
I don't think I've
What do
ever
you-
heard that term. I'm gonna start using it. a lot more.
leafery.
Yeah, could you
Orchid.
bring it in leafery?
Very orchid.
You took up my orchid.
But there's like an Art Nouveau element too. Like,
Mhm.
it's like bio, it's Art Nouveau, it's flowy, it's alive looking. All the things that pull my trigger.
Trigger food.
Boom.
Look at that low. Love that.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. That's gorgeous. I think I might laser all my stuff off and start over.
It makes
Don't
you
do
wanna
it, Ben.
just- Yeah.
Don't do it.
But the availability.
Look at
of
that black and gray
awesomeness-
piece up in the top. Scroll up one more, that one right there.
The availability of
go back.
awesomeness.
Oh,
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, neat to the-
Look at those little, they look like little ginkgo leaves,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
Is
yeah,
that what I'm
that's what it-
imagining?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I love those shapes. These are the kind of shapes that put me in mind of her work.
Mhm. The fluted little-
Pretty mind bending, right?
It's
Where'd
almost
the
like an
leg go?
oil slick.
That's
Yeah.
one of those
Like
ones
a-
that when you really start looking at it, the body part disappears.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a true
Phases.
transformation.
Phases.
Do you see some of that
Marcus.
ginkgo leaf shape? When you see the whole leg, you see that
Oh, that's
ginkgo
right.
leaf shape on the side.
All right. Cool as shit. You get my
Mhm.
vote. That's
Crazy.
super rad. What?
Another crazy orchid.
Very cool.
All right, you can tattoo my face. It's fine. Just
I think something like that would make a great throat piece.
if I ever,
Having it come up
if
and
and
around.
when I do my throat, it's either going to be something super
do something
soft and
like that in my
geometrical or really floral. It's one or the other. Thank you. Sorry, working on it.
I mean, with your collection, either way would be appropriate. If you
Yeah.
could, do you know who
Kinda
Jade Jory is? She kind of like combines floral work, like traditional, like floral, like hard outline Japanese style, but then she like juxtaposes geometric shapes.
What
on
word
top
did
of
you
it.
just say?
Juxtaposes.
Juxtaposes.
Smashes
And for
together.
all of us that don't know what juxtaposes mean,
It's
would
when
you
you
break
put
that
two
down?
things together that don't belong together, when you juxtapose them.
My job is to
When you-
bring it to the common folk that don't understand the art words.
Thanks,
For
Ben.
you
my job in
simple,
life.
non-educated folk that don't know words.
Yes.
Juxtaposition.
so.
No, I'm just kidding. That's kind of a weird word.
It is. I
It's
know
a
that,
weird
man.
word.
I like that word though.
It's
I'm
one of
gonna
my
use it
favorite words.
tomorrow.
It's one of my
Like,
favorite words.
it's going in the repertoire.
Mhm.
But
Juxtaposed.
juxtaposed the two images
Juxtaposition.
of geometric and floral. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Pull up Jay Jory. Do you know who she is, Jordan?
I've not heard of her either.
Put him on the spot. Put him on the spot. Put him on the spot. Put him on the spot.
I don't know how to spell that.
Jay.
J-A-Y.
Yvonne, that's one of my favorite artists for years.
Look, there she
Aw.
is. Very top. Boom. I love her work. It's a fantastic combination of styles. Look at them, Ben.
What?
Go to that lotus down there in the
Give it to
corner,
me.
Jordan.
Ooh.
Scrub. Wait, what? Oh, that's right.
That one right there.
Ooh.
That looks like something I could see you
Oh,
wearing on your
Jesus.
whole throat.
That's beautiful.
It's like the culmination of everything you've got going on. A little bit of Japanese flair, a little bit of flower flair, a little bit of traditional hard line, and then geometric.
Fun. It's like you know me too well. That's weird.
I mean, we've smoked a few blunts together, Ben.
Nah.
I don't
don't
do
do
drugs.
drugs.
I am drugs.
Okay. Ooh, look at that head tatty. Oh Jesus, no, stop there first. That's amazing.
That's
Okay, I would put that on my face. Like seriously. Lauren, you have impeccable taste.
Lauren, are you still there? Close by?
Ooh,
Can you
look
hear
at that
us?
one.
If so, I wanted to ask you about
Ooh.
your newer tattoo. You mentioned you just recently got tattooed. I'd love to talk about it.
On the dome. Okay, so part of me is like, tattoo your head, bro.
Noggin tatties?
And the other part of me is like, you got enough of your head tattooed.
I don't know. I feel like I'm satisfied with the coverage on my noggin.
Did we blow up that eyeball on the right? Down. Right. Bam.
See?
That is saucy.
Yes. So when you use the word impeccable, the definition of that is like you can't nitpick it. You can't find
Yeah.
flaws. Impeccable means, and that is
And-
about as impeccable as a tattoo can get.
For
And again,
something,
there's a few different tricks going on.
for something on my throat, in the sake of not trying to be too rough and tumble, something soft but bold is exactly
Soft but bold.
what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that is. It's not.
Sold. Soft
Give it to
and
me,
bold.
baby.
Soft and bold.
Well, you don't want to look like you're being choked by your tattoo. Like,
Correct.
yeah.
But like the
Grace.
bright
I
use
love
of
it. I think
colors
that's a
versus
very
the
good
dark.
way to think about it.
I could see all of that.
So many neck tattoos I feel are so poorly placed that it just ruins the aesthetic of what it could have been. And it's really made me apprehensive to even think about it, because it's like, hey, I'm not financially secure in a career that I still might have to put on a suit at some point, but like
Juxtaposed.
it's a big step in my mind. I don't know why. Like I'm like,
yeah. Well, you already got the job
covered.
stoppers, so you know.
but still, it's just kind of like I don't know what the mental block is with the third.
Look at how crisp that geometric is, Jordan.
Aye.
Isn't it nice?
Mhm.
I'd let it happen. I'm just saying.
You'd let it
I love
happen. Look at that Jessica Rabbit. Check her out. I don't know if you guys know how I feel about Jessica Rabbit, but
No, dude. What's the lie?
Ask your manager about Jessica Rabbit.
Tony?
No.
M?
Early on,
I feel like I just
she
blew
was
Jordan's
Jessica
mind.
Rabbit for
Or
Halloween.
Jay.
and I was
Jay
the
Jory just blew
Christmas.
Jordan's mind.
Mhm. Indeed. Very cool stuff.
Richard Simmons, yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Hey guys, if you enjoy some black and gray, I've known one of the guys that works with her for several years, Chase Nash.
Chase Nash.
He's got some good work too, just black and gray. But they
Hey,
work with
Lauren.
the same.
Since you're back, last week you mentioned that you got a new tattoo. You want to talk
I
about that
did.
a little bit?
Yeah, I don't really have my camera on or anything, but I got tattooed by Cody Hennings. And he's based out of, I guess, somewhere in Texas. I thought Dallas, but man, he moves so fast when he tattoos. I couldn't believe it. I've never been
Wow.
tattooed that fast in my life.
Look at that landscape on top of that face.
Wow, this is incredible, black and gray.
Nice, Lauren.
Speed in tattooing always amazes me because it's one of those things. It's like it can be such a methodical process, and just to see somebody that can do that process accelerated and still perfectly, it blows my mind.
I can send you a DM of the tattoo.
Sweet.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting in how he did move so fast. I was trying to analyze it in my own mind, whether or not, but it really boils down to efficiency. And that was apparent in his entire setup. His paper towels were in the most efficient spot. His inks were in the most efficient spot. Everything was planned ahead of time, so he could just go in and execute. Even though it is a traditional piece, there's a lot of large solid fill, but yeah, that's what I thought was really cool.
Derb talks a lot about how about how fast I work, and I don't necessarily try to work fast, but the efficiency is what I try to keep in mind. And it's not even efficiency with time, but it's efficiency with like pain. Like, how long is this needle in the skin? What can I do to make this process more like time efficient, to like get this person out of pain more quickly? What can I do to like saturate most quickly to move on to an area and not like bother it again? Like, there's so much where like efficiency is important, because somebody's in pain. Every single mark that I make, somebody's hurting, and I'm causing that. So if I'm not working efficiently, I'm unnecessarily drawing pain out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really cool. Like when Derb talks about how quick I am and how much coverage I achieve in each session, because that lets me know like I really am working efficiently and I'm getting the most out of like what my client has in their gas tank. You know, it's not about, did I tattoo for 5 hours or 6 hours or 9 hours? It's how much did I get done in the time that my client
Right.
could sit. Like,
Yeah.
Lauren, how long did yours take? You said it was super fast.
I just sent you a picture of what I got. It's a traditional rose and dagger.
we go to the
Oh.
inbox, Jordan.
Yep.
Hit the DMs.
We need
But
a
yeah,
button.
that would be interesting because it was in the Mind's Eye Creative booth, I believe. And so we're kind of looking at Scott's setup versus his setup and making a joke about the efficiency claim and how important it is that it starts before the tattoo.
Right.
Pull in tighter on the photos that we're talking about too. There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
We were joking that it took him 45 minutes.
No way.
It was within that hour range. And,
Really?
And I even got up to smoke a little bit, you know.
That's insane to me.
Okay. That's efficient. You
And
know,
that's
like-
super clean.
Yeah.
Ben, you need more roses?
I always need more roses. I got a whole belly that needs roses. Surfage.
Let's go, man.
Surface.
It's saturated.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Skin highlights are nice.
I see you make good choices.
And if you're interested, I will also drop his Instagram in that DM as well.
Yes.
Perfect.
I kind of like our exploring other tattoo segment.
You know
'Cause,
what?
like,
It was interesting how that tattoo came up as well, because it wasn't planned at all whatsoever.
Nice.
He came to I sent you the wrong. He came to our booth and I said that I didn't really have many tattoos done with raw, so it would be cool. And he said, well, I'll tattoo you. I'll be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I showed up at 10 a.m. I tipped one of his designs and that was that.
Wow. It's
Kind of
amazing.
the impulsive end of collecting.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
The new message is there. You gotta, there you go. Refresh it.
Okay, I just sent his portfolio.
Take this. Yeah, I've been working with a lot of the raw colors now. I've been mixing them with, I've got my palettes mostly Star Bright with some Solid and Eternal, but I have been working
That's
with
actually
the
on a
raw, and I'm-
tattooer. Not to interrupt you, but this is actually on a tattooer, Lefty Colbert, who's one of
Okay.
my first, I wouldn't say idols, but someone I really looked up to when I entered in the manufacturing realm, just the way he presented himself. And so that's cool that he got a big back piece just done by the same artist.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, Lefty does a lot of black and gray work himself. That's really good. I'm always interested to see what other tattooers get when they approach, a big project like a back piece.
Back to speaking on the efficiency of tattooing and like the efficiency of the process. One of the things I like about raw is how it's thinner than a lot of the other colors, and I can use it interchangeably with the other brands that I'm working with, which is fantastic. But there are a lot of things that I can just saturate more quickly with the raw colors. I'm really impressed with how I think my sessions are becoming shorter because the colors saturate so much more easily.
That's
Or-
awesome.
I shouldn't say my sessions are getting shorter, but I'm getting more done in the session in the given time. But I'm really impressed with them.
Awesome.
Our coworker Keith Cam on Instagram, he's been borrowing a lot of my colors for some of the tattoos that he's working on. He's like, I think I'm gonna order a whole set of them. I was like, I'm enjoying them. So I'm still working through the ones that you sent, but I love this.
Oh, that is
Right
cool.
up my alley. I'd love to start doing some stuff like this.
On that back piece that you shared yesterday on Tattoo Now, I don't think I've ever seen it. The triple cover up of that
Oh, the one
girl.
on Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. But this piece
Thank
is
you.
also really cool too. So
Wait, what?
but it's nice seeing your thoughts kind of on a larger scale rather than a forearm or a
Yeah,
leg or
even with like legs and arms, it's hard to capture the whole story without seeing it in person. Like when you see it in person, everything all like wraps and rolls and makes sense, and like the story's there and cohesive, but in pictures you can only see segments of the story. So sometimes you just got to see it in real life. I mean, I like sharing videos, but it's still not the same as seeing it in person and actually like getting like in and up close on things. But with a back piece, it's just a nice flat-ish, like you can show everything off all in one shot. You don't have to like take time to look and take it in. You can just
Right.
that's the cool thing about that portion of the body. Our full front panels are kind of the same way.
Right. Enough space to present the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of. Wow. Like just ow. Like I don't even know how else to say that. Ow.
Yeah, so many.
What a
I feel
commitment
like
to
I could maybe
hairstyle.
put something like that on the top of my head.
What a
It's
commitment
probably
to
better that I
hairstyle.
think that spot, because what if you get like, like your, what if you start getting like the hot dog thing?
Well, I don't know for my neck. This is my neck's done.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, on a guy, like, I don't know. You can almost, I don't know. Like, I don't want to ever predict like, what somebody could look like if they put, but if somebody say wanted geometry on their stomach and I was like, well,
Show
if
me
you're-
what
if
your
I
dad
know-
looks like.
like, like, if you know that your weight fluctuates, I might suggest putting it somewhere that's not going to have, such an effect from gravity or
That's-
weight gain.
That's
you
why I
know.
put roses and pistols on my stomach, because they can go from 38 stubbies to 44 longs and nobody even notices. Roses can be closed or open or big.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Plan for that.
You're thinking, dude.
Chunk of life.
That's right. Well, I mean, you got,
What are you thinking over there, Jordan?
Just looking.
He just wants his face.
Jumped
tattooed.
right down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
He's
cool.
like, I'll take that.
I like
I'll take
the color.
that. I'll take that.
It's like a lot of
Right
the
up my
things
alley.
that Jordan does, but it's incorporating a whole another element of color, which means like the level of thought and the methodical, like
Ooh, we
each
go up to that leg in
each
the
color is a different part of the stencil, but the stencil's all the same.
Mhm.
So you've got to
Mhm.
be very
You just gotta know your
organized.
pattern.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Systematic about
Mhm.
it.
You gotta be real familiar with
I'll fuck up a paint by number.
it.
I mean, I mean,
You'd be surprised, like, you know, when you're doing all of this, and then just like, you know, just making sure that these are blue and that these stay green. Like
Have I
your
ever,
eyes get so twisted sometimes. It's like, you know,
have I ever told you
don't
about
get
the-
don't get lost in thought and all of a sudden start filling in one of these. You know, there's so many. It's not. I mean, it doesn't happen, but shit.
have I
You
ever
know,
told you
If you're
about
not
the-
you're
paying
that
attention,
close
like
from
it.
doing it. You know, and
Yeah.
if you know, it can seem so easy, but you can get lost in the patterns.
have I ever
That's a
told you
fairly
about
easy
the,
one, but I've
street
had some more
shop in
complicated
Windsor?
ones.
I was on vacation with a significant other, and she wanted a trinket tattoo, and I was like, all right, like if that's what you want. We went to this little shop. She wanted an 8-point nautical star about the size of a quarter in the center of her ribs, dead set on it. I was like, okay, that's what you want. And you know, this guy puts the stencil on, he does the whole outline, he starts to fill in the opposite. And I just watched him do it. He goes right next to the one right next to it and starts filling in the wrong color. And I was like, hey, bud. And he was like, what? I was like, look. He went, oh, fuck. I was like, yeah, oh, fuck. And we'd waited like 4 hours for this
Person to call
$70 tattoo. It was a big deal. Like I mildly had a moment and almost freaked out. I was like, hey, bro, like, what do we do about this? Like, I mean,
What'd she say? Did she know?
she
At this
instantly
point?
just mauled. He did what?
Oh,
Okay,
geez.
so you're non-communicative. I guess this is my job now. So the manager of the shop actually asked me to go outside with him in a polite way, not in a puff-uppy, chesty way. Like, let's get this out of the lobby so we can control the environment type of way. He wasn't being rude about it.
Right.
He essentially paid us double what we paid for the tattoo and offered her a cover-up. And we're like, you live in Columbus, Ohio. You're in Windsor. Like,
Not worth the drive.
Nah. So yeah, so then I had the honor and privilege of finding someone to cover it for her. And she ended up with 8 to 10 inch wide rose that Joey Knuckles did for her.
Nice.
Huge piece all the way up the ribs and down. So she ended up with an actual real tattoo out of the deal. But
It's like lemonade, man.
yeah, it was just it was a long process to get there.
It was, but there was a lesson in that.
Yeah,
There's a
no
lesson, you
$70
know?
trinket tattoos at the
No.
busy street shop and the tourist trap.
Yeah.
Just
I feel, yeah, I
don't
mean,
call
it
it.
pays to do your homework. Like, it's something permanent. So you always want to check out your artist and make sure that they're not just some like haphazard, sloppy.
That's what this
you know,
show
not
is all about.
Careless, you know.
Well, I mean, he didn't mark a stencil.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I mean,
did
give
not-
yourself clues, dude. Like, if
I
you think
mean-
that there is a chance, like, give yourself clues.
He didn't put a little dot of
Yeah.
black on all the wall with your Sharpie before you started to make sure you.
You kind of, yeah.
And I literally watched him.
Haste makes waste. Like, don't be
in-
fucking hasty. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the other thing. Like,
This is one of the things that I think is a positive about hand drawing your stencils. Like, take the time to hand draw. You can like put little notes and stuff in there for yourself as you go. So like, that's why like there, you know, we've got thermofaxes, we've got stencil machines, we've got stencil printers, we've got all this technology.
It's
but
2022.
Sometimes, is it too loud?
You turned me up.
I
like
did.
that.
I turned you up a little bit. Sorry. So, but sometimes, sometimes when you take the time to like hand draw your stencil, you can like put little notes and everything as you go. And like you said, like something as simple as like a nautical star, you can go through and just the side that's supposed to be black, just put a little squiggle, just something so you know that that's the one. And
Put a
then-
B on there. It's
then
a
you don't
stencil.
even have to
like,
think.
you
even
know,
if
as you're
that,
tattooing.
even if that
Just
works, dude,
that.
just give yourself a
Just
fucking
some
clue.
some
Like,
note.
there's nothing wrong
Yep.
with it. Like just
I ain't never done tattoo in my life. I don't understand why you wouldn't just put the stencil in this stencil and just tattoo what you see. But just a bystander
That's a
here.
mindless move.
Yeah.
Mindless move.
you gotta fucking pay attention to what you're doing.
That's about
Like,
the
you
simplest
know,
task of a tattooer as you can get is that tattoo.
Yeah, but if you're not paying attention, dude.
Right.
know,
And that's what it comes
fucking-
from.
Yeah.
Good times at the street shops.
Yeah, well,
Sometimes,
that's-
you know, especially when it's like a walk-in situation and you don't know what artist you're going to get. Sometimes you end up like getting a fantastic artist and you like make a relationship and that artist turns into like, that's the one, you know, like
Yeah.
it happens. It does
does,
happen, but sometimes,
yeah.
you know, you get the artist that's early in their career. That is the rolling of the dice, but like, it's a really cool way to like just give an artist a try, like especially if you're down to collect little trinket tattoos and things like that. Like if you want to collect tattoos as little mementos, and I don't know, I've got a portion of my body that I'm saving just to collect little tiny pieces
not-
throughout the future.
not
But like it's
everybody
a
wants a
really
body
good
suit.
idea. Yeah, it's just a good idea to
I mean,
like
Well, but you pick out, I mean, you don't just like go into a random shop and get a little, you have people in mind that you're like, I want you to do like a little,
Mhm.
you know,
Well,
whatever little.
I'm not
thing.
saying just blindly walk into any shop. I'm just saying like
Right,
it is a roll of the dice. Yes.
yeah.
It is a roll of the dice, but sometimes you hit a home run, you know,
Every
sometimes
once
you,
in a while, there's. a
sometimes
gem.
you find the artist that you fall in love with. And sometimes you get that artist early enough in their career that you get to homie hook up the rest of your life. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So there are
Shit,
are
sometimes you
really
find
cool
artists
reasons.
in
Like
any path of their
if you-
career. You
as
build that
much
connection.
as much as we preach about like doing your homework, do your homework, plan things out. Like even I sometimes have woken up like, I want to go get a tattoo today. Like I literally, when I got like the little shamrock in my ear, it was the first like visible tattoo that I had. Cause like, you know, I had been tattooing for a while and still didn't have anything you could see if I was wearing a t-shirt. Like,
I have a few rando tats.
but that was like a day of tattoo and I love it. It's still one of my favorites. Like,
I remember sitting and taking somebody to get a tattoo, and when they were done, I was like, "All right, my turn." And I think it was Rich. He was like, "Okay, what do you want?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Well, and I think we ended up tattooing one of my fingers. It was kind of funny.
Mhm.
It was literally just random. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, let's do this.
so as much as we preach about doing homework, it's like the spur of the moment tattoos are excellent. The memories there, the memories attached. But like I said, for me, like I've got a portion of my body that I've set aside. My lower left leg, I'm just gonna keep collecting small pieces, like from my ankle on up.
Let me give you a snail.
I thought you'd give me a little snail.
You get 3
Yeah.
lines.
Nope.
That's it.
No, you're gonna
You
give
get
me a
3
fantastic snail.
Well,
How
big.
big you want to make it? Like 50-cent piece?
50 cent. He's a gigantic human being.
It used to be a unit of money,
A half a dollar?
like 2 quarters, but in one.
A half pence? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Slightly larger than a Sacagawea.
Okay. Maybe.
1 shilling, please.
We'll see.
1 shilling.
We'll see. See.
Set you up with a 5 mag, give you all the lessons, crash course.
I don't know about crash course. I don't crash very well. Slow methodical process.
You can take your time.
We'll see.
Keep pressuring you to do
volunteering
it
myself
again.
for things I don't actually want to do.
I mean, so like if we're putting it around my ankle, I've got like the Converse emblem. I've got the teeny tiny tattoo machine. I've got a Pizza Steve. I've got
Pizza Steve.
Johnny Cash with a white handled 6-shooter. Like, it'd be in good company. It'd be in good company.
Is okay. We'll see.
The snail's starting to. Oh, and don't forget about the gummy berry juice bottle.
Oh yeah. All right.
So it'd be in good company. Is it going to be a magic snail?
We name it Turnabout.
I feel like it's appropriate.
And it's the only snail appropriate.
Did the
name.
racing snail and Never Ending Story have a name?
No, I don't. He probably did. And
He
someone's
did. I'm
Mad that
trying
we
to
don't know it
remember.
right now, but
Yeah.
We're all thinking too hard.
Who in the never ending story?
The
Yeah.
racing snail. Did the racing snail have a name?
The only thing I remember from Neverending Story is and then I bawled.
no.
I just cry. Every ounce of my soul leaves my body through my eyeballs.
That's a fantastic movie. I feel like that one and
Fighters.
Labyrinth really kind of warped my thinking about imaginary realms. Like,
Like the Dark
Muppets.
Crystal did it for me.
Yeah, Dark
What do
Crystal.
you
Yeah,
I just
Muppets
remember
stuff.
being a kid. What do you think Jim Henson's imagination must be like?
Yeah.
If these are the things he can
To
bring
me,
to
Dark
life,
Crystal.
imagine the
that
things that we
was
can't
like-
bring to
I
life.
feel like Labyrinth was like really getting into it.
'Cause
Dark
I'm
Crystal
like-
was like, we're just gonna go full
All the
on,
way.
no humans.
Fucking Skeksis. Like
Right.
those things were gnarly.
Mhm.
Fucking. Spines hung out. Got their
Like
shirts.
little hunch
Do you-
over thingies.
Bird
Yeah.
like.
Do you remember where she
raptor
falls down the hole
things.
and there's like the wall of the helping hands?
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
"Help!"
Mhm.
And they catch her.
Yeah, I like the like monkey people, the like orange and
Mhm.
yellow weird monkeys, weird
Hmm.
creatures. They like pull their heads off.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Around
They
hands
started
around.
bouncing around.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we've seen that. We were definitely more of a Muppets family than a Dark Crystal family. But yeah, Muppets were always a blast. Just seeing the different ideas of how to make that stuff work, and you know what I mean, like the mix of people and scenery, and I don't know. I always like that.
Even as a little kid, I
Made you
remember
believe
like
that it was really
I like
happening.
seeing
Yeah.
inanimate
Like,
things come to life.
even as
I
an
love
adult,
when
I'm
you
like,
can
this
fully
is-
believe a puppet's real.
See, I was just gonna say, as a little kid, I remember looking at it and knowing it was a show and knowing that it was people making it happen.
Right.
How did they do it?
And
And where are
interested
they
in the
hiding? And
ingenuity
like,
of it.
yeah. But I would remember being like that with like cartoons early on
Mhm.
because it was like different. You'd see
Drawing
different
layers.
paintings like rolling past one another. And so for me, like super early on, I wanted to understand the process and like
Even just
how
the-
these other worlds were like
Right.
made to be believable.
But that's why I thought like the old Star Wars and stuff like that was even cool, because somebody designed that miniature set and they were actually putting a little teeny tiny baby spaceship on a string and carrying it
Mhm.
across, and it wasn't some guy going spaceship coming at ya. Like it's a whole different
Yeah.
ball game when you
actually
you
had
take
to-
the hand crafted element out of it. It's the same thing with like the puppet shows and stuff like that. Somebody made that little baby puppet, attached it to those strings, and then figured out how they can orchestrate them around on a stage while
Right.
they sing a song and not crash into each other. That blows my mind. That someone had the thought
Yes,
to,
and like
to
in
take
like
the time
in
to put
all
that stuff
movies, I think I
together.
like that. I like that way more. Like not just puppets, but just practical.
Yeah,
effects
even
in
just
general.
older special
Practical
effects.
effects, just like even like the old Jurassic Parks and stuff.
Mhm.
Like it was all real. For
Yeah.
like 3/4, if not all of it, was all like real dinosaurs, either little baby dinosaurs,
Right.
real dinosaurs,
Something
real 20-foot,
Mhm.
T-Rexes and stuff.
Yeah.
Now you just plug it into the computer, the green screen.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool to watch those guys walk around in like the green suit with all the little tennis balls all over
Yeah.
them,
I love
like
it.
animating
I'm all
the
for it. I'm
digital
all for
stick
it. I
figure.
just there's something even more lifelike about it though, when it's actually really in the room and the actors are really interacting with something real.
It has a lot to do with the storyteller aspect of it as well, because when you take a movie that is like the high action movie and it's all the special effects and it's 1080p and you're making it as real as possible as it could, it makes it unbelievable in real life. It takes the storyteller aspect of it out of it for me. You're trying to show me an impossible situation in a real life setting.
I
So when
agree.
you have that cheesy special effects barrier, it allows your
Mhm.
imagination to be like, oh, this is a story. Okay, that makes sense. It allows that like
Sometimes,
Hmm.
sometimes some TVs and some cameras are so high def that like I'll get distracted by I'll get distracted away from what the news anchor is saying, and I'll like fixate on, I wonder what kind of razor he uses.
that is a close shave.
Yeah, like look
well,
at those pores. Those are
it's the
some
same as
really healthy
watch
pores.
About that shit. I just like I'm like a squirrel or something.
Do we need cameras that are that good?
shit,
And do
it's
we
so
need things that
Same
are
with
like
TVs. So think about watching like an old Friends episode per se, and you've seen this episode 38,000 times, but now it's in such crystal clear high def. You see the actors' little awkward body shifts that were just blurred out before, non-apparent, and the background things, and they might knock over the cup that you never noticed before because it was half blurred out of it. Like it's really weird that once they start expanding the frame of what was actually being shot and things like that, I don't know. Like watch Princess Bride in 1080p, it loses it for me. Like it's I don't know. It's different. It's weird. I don't know. Some things should not be seen so crystal
Give
clear.
it to me gritty.
Yeah.
Like watching like Monty Python, I don't know if I'd want to watch that.
Right, it
What I don't-
loses
I
that
don't like-
storyteller
Yeah,
aspect because now
yeah.
you see the prop aspect of it.
Right.
You can see that that's not a real tree and it's nailed to a 2x4 and
Yeah, I could tell. I
And
can see all the tricks now.
you watch
Like,
Wizard of Oz
the
and you're like,
magician
no,
never
like
reveals
there
the
is a
secret
curtain.
mystery.
I've never noticed anything about like looking when I'm watching like 4K stuff or like really high def, like seeing pores and stuff's not something I think about as much as there's something about like the camera effect that happens when it's like 4K. Like even when you see something that was like remastered in 4K, you'll watch it in like 1080p, it'll look, good high def. And then you watch it in 4K and you're like, there's just something about it. You feel like you're in the room when they're with the camera and you're like, that's too much.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look as real.
Same as with like the
Like, it
order
almost
that's
makes
exactly
it-
what I'm saying about
And like
Like-
some people, I feel like love it. And I'm like, this makes it literally look less real to me. When
I
it's
don't
like,
I don't want to be able to tell that you have makeup on.
right.
Yeah. It's-
Like-
yeah. It's too much.
Even with our 4K camera, I see what you're saying, because like there'll be times where I'm just like screwing around at the shop and I'll like creep around the corner and it'll like on the screen, it'll look like I'm standing right next to Jordan, but I'm all the way out in the hallway. I've just like zoomed right in on him and like
Right. It's like
the
realer than what your eye
stabilization
would
is so
normally focus
smooth
on.
that you almost just feel like you're just like like you're
Coasting.
literally floating in. These cameras are pretty crazy.
Mhm.
They're pretty crazy. But
Vidget
it's
tricks.
a lot. So the magic that's getting lost is now with all this like high def everything,
Right.
there's not those little gaps for your imagination to fill in the gaps.
Right.
Like for me, there's a lot of magic. There's a lot of magic in the way that I paint. Like there are some things where like that detail's not really there. Your imagination's just putting it there. Your imagination's just filling in the gaps. But I love it. I love playing with that because
That
it's
super
making your
applies to old
imagination work.
animation.
I was just gonna say that about like the old Pokemon games and stuff. Like I used to love the old Pokemon Game Boy games that were like 16-bit, and you
Mhm.
really had to use your imagination to like some of the creatures just looked like little like 16-bit fuzzballs. Like you wouldn't even really know, but it
Did you
was like a
remember, like,
Pikachu.
Kirby
And like
on
in my
Game Boy?
brain, I had this image, but then if I go back and play a Pokemon game that's like all this new high def stuff, I'm like, it's too cute, it's too all these different things. And I was young, my brain just, I don't know, something about like the ambiguousness of it all kept it, I don't know, less babyish, I guess.
Have you ever like listened to or read a book and the image you have of the character in your head is completely different than like
Mhm.
then they show a
Oh,
picture
yeah.
and you're like, oh, I don't even like this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he was cool in my brain and now this.
There are some movies that I haven't watched yet. Like I haven't watched the Queen one and I haven't watched the Elton John one, just because like
Okay, first
and everybody
watch them
says
both.
both of them are good, but it's one of those like like,
watch them.
two
both.
people that I have on like weird pedestals is like creatives.
They're both done well. And you know I'm persnickety when it comes to this.
I know. I need to jump in, but
Both of them.
I've been very like, oh, I don't want to
Be
be disappointed.
Emotionally prepared.
I don't want to be disappointed.
Well, when you look at anything that way, you're gonna be disappointed.
I could be
You know how when
delightfully
you walk
surprised.
into a restaurant and you're like, "Well, this isn't gonna go well."
Yeah.
Your meal's gonna be shit. It doesn't matter what you do.
You're being insatiable.
So, I mean, be excited, and even if it's only kind of cool, you still got to listen to some Queen. You still got to
That's
listen
true.
to EJ.
That's true. EJ,
SEJ. My bad, bro.
sir,
I don't want you to come at me.
sir.
Sir Elton John. No, I enjoyed both of those films. And you know I don't film. For
All right, I'll sit down and watch them. We'll call it research.
what?
Life.
Inspiration.
Research for life. Yes.
I just didn't know if you had a specific like I need an image of piano in my head.
Sometimes.
In
Yeah.
that case, I'm gonna suggest Guns N' Roses November Rain instead. Go that route.
November rain. Yeah. I can get down with November rain. The
I-
rain falling,
Yeah, if I ever learn how to
roses
play piano, that's
everywhere.
the first thing we're doing.
lightning crashing.
hard in.
Dress
I think
blowing
I
in the
really
wind.
missed an era. I think I should have been born like so I could have been an 80s pop fucking metal vocalist.
You want to be. You
I
want to
think me
be
and Rat would have gotten along real
the
great. That's
age
all I'm
that
saying.
you are now.
Like-
91.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think it would have been
Fair. I
great.
could see that.
I think it would have been great.
You'd have a glorious mullet.
Wouldn't I though?
Yeah, you'd have a fantastic quaff.
Strong. Strong.
Guys, don't forget the rat tail.
Yes.
Would you mullet or would you rat tail, Ben?
You know it'd be a combo pack.
Your
So you
hair
let it
would
come to
just
a
look like a
taper, or
mushroom.
like what? You're just gonna-
No, you trim, right? You trim the mullet high and grow this out, and then you grow just the rat tail. Wear this in a ponytail, double tail.
Double tail. Double tail. That is.
I don't know. We
you
could
gonna
live the
cast it?
Boga. We could go both ways. We could go super mullet, and then one day, nothing but rat tail. Big pompadour in the front. Yeah. I'll never be as cool as Forrest.
I was just
He
gonna say,
is.
what if
Like,
I grew a rat tail? But I can't even seriously like have those words come out of my mouth. I can't even like wrap my brain around that idea.
Can we just attach one dread back? Right.
Just put one back in.
just for
spin
like a
it.
day or two.
Yeah.
Like,
Y'all are
No,
crazy.
probably not. That's probably not what
What
we're
if
gonna
I
do.
said please?
Still probably not.
Oh, black words generally get what you want.
like Braveheart or whatever.
So
I need a pulling thread.
about Monday,
Yes.
what do you do to prepare when you're gonna get tattooed? When you know you have a tattoo appointment coming up, and since it's gonna be a big one and we're gonna be laying a lot of stuff out, what are you doing to prepare yourself?
Well, typically, I just try to like fortify, drink a lot of water.
You hydrate?
I hydrate.
Guys.
So like a bunch
I'm
of
Something we tell you
More
to do.
regimented about my vitamins because sometimes, like I'll take them here and there, like in the morning or sometimes late. But, I try to be a little bit more.
So what? So
But I also, hydration is.
why
very
take
important.
vitamins especially before you're getting tattooed? What's the benefit of that?
Well, I just think that taking vitamins are good for you anyway, just to supplement, because I know that as much as I try, I probably don't get all of the nutrients and minerals and stuff that I need. So
Just kind of boosts your immune
So I just-
system a little bit.
yeah, boost up,
Mhm.
immune system. Try to eat well. I try to get a good night's sleep consistently, for at least a few nights in a row, because sometimes I know you get excited and it's hard to sleep, but I think that is an essential, thing for someone to do before they get tattooed, aside just whether it's
So
a small piece or a
shouldn't go
big
out
piece.
drinking the night before and like till 4 a.m. and then sweat
Try to
out
come
your whole
in.
hangover the next day
work a
during your
12-hour
session.
No.
shift, then close the bar.
Worst thing
That's
is
not a good
Don't-
idea.
That's not.
somebody coming in with beer breath is fucking the worst.
Let's sit in close proximity.
And-
while I
and they will
maul
puke
your
every
face.
time. No hydrating that way. No
So water,
water.
drink water.
Drink some
Eat good
Gatorade, drink
food.
some water, eat some good, like kind of treat
Electrolytes.
yourself, make sure that, I always make sure that I get a good meal so that my blood sugar is leveled out and
Mhm.
solid and, I wear something comfortable,
Are you a
so-
bring a snack type of person?
I am a constant snacker.
Yes.
I've been like holding back right
She's
now.
a
I always
snack
got,
connoisseur.
I am. I'm a
This is a
snacker,
snack-free
so-
environment. You're more than welcome.
Yeah. But yeah, just making sure. And then just mentally you mentally prepare too, like, just I guess kind of almost meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. and then positivity. That's what I think.
Positivity. I will
Positivity.
get through this.
I'm gonna wrap my head around this.
I've never died from a tattoo. This will be okay.
Well, I mean, I swore off getting my foot done for a long time. The other one was just, it was gnarly, dude, really. And it, well, 'cause
Gnarly. Did it swell?
it swelled and just like, I had to get it touched up like 3-4 times too. It just sucked. And I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I felt like at that point, I was like, man, I didn't realize how dedicated to the maintenance you had to be. Like, it's not even just like the fact of getting it tattooed, you get it done like a few times, like you're like, okay, dude, I can handle this. But like you start getting on like the 6th, you're like, I can't do this anymore. Like,
This area.
don't make me do this one more
abused.
time, like that, but you got to also realize that that's something that you have to allow for,
Mhm. I've got a client right now, and I'm reworking a lot of her collection. And she's got an area of her foot that's a huge cover up, and we're turning it into this big like swirl of like a tidal wave kind of form. And going in, we knew it was going to take multiple passes, and it was, we're working on several areas of her body. But so we are actually like each session, we're just doing like a little section of her foot, because it's going to take so many layers of saturation. And I feel like if we can just do like a half hour here and a half hour there while we're doing other areas, maybe you won't even really notice those heels, and it's not going to be as brutal. So for her, like, we're probably going to hit that foot 12 times, but it's going to be just like a little tiny dose while we're working on these other bigger projects and other areas of her body. But
If you ever have to hit something 12 times on me, don't ever tell me that. Just do it.
well,
If you're
like I
like, this
said,
is going to take a
you're like,
dozen
"Yeah,
rounds, I might be like,
yeah."
well, I don't like tattoos. Then.
Well, cover-ups are kind of a different
Yeah,
beast too.
absolutely.
You got to saturate it and layer it in and try
and
to break it up.
unfortunately hers comes all the way down onto her toes. So you know how that
That's-
area down
yeah,
by the
you
toes,
gotta-
you've got to saturate again and again.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
that that's the other thing too, is like, when you see this piece over and over again and say like, okay, say you've gone into it twice and you can tell exactly where the wear and tear is on somebody's foot. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to try to put more in there because I know that it's going to fall out and it's almost kind of unnecessary. So you can like read the rules of like this particular foot, like how this person walks. And you're like, okay, so I'm not going to cause you any more unnecessary pain trying to get it in there because I know it's going to fall out. I know it's going to be uncomfortable to heal. So let's just keep it at this and like try to smooth it out this way. You know what I mean? Like,
that's back to like working efficiently with the pain. Like don't beat up an area
Right.
when like beating it up further is going to make it heal rougher and you're going to lose even more color. So that like, especially like in a cover up situation, I want, even if I'm only putting a small amount of pigment in there, I want that to stay. So
Right.
like I turn my machine down, I run it really slow. I make it like my strokes very deliberate and get the ink exactly where I need it and then move out of there and
Yeah.
just like layer by layer. But like, we're treating her foot as if it's 4 sections. So she's got like the inside where the coral reef is, the outside, the top, and then down by the toes. So each time we're in a different section. That was Jordan cracking his neck. Jordan needs to see her chiropractor.
You made me have to crack my
Oh
neck.
my
Like I was like, oh god.
I heard it in my spine, and I also heard it through.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like,
oh,
oof.
what? Sorry, didn't mean to completely distract from the actual conversation.
Oh, it was beautiful.
The life of a tattooer and
Don't listen
horrible
to him.
posture.
It was great.
Yeah.
I got terrible back problems. Not really. They're not really terrible. They will one day be. Yoga. I just gotta do some stretches. I swear. It helps so
I
much.
swear. I'm just
Before-
one of
before
these
my-
days, I'm gonna do
But
some
unless you
yoga.
get,
It's true, it does
until my
absolutely
spine
help.
actually
I'm sure.
degenerates.
I just love the
I've had
one of these days I'm sure going to have to do some yoga. as
One of
opposed
these
to-
days.
Yeah, instead
One
of
of
just,
these
I'm
days.
gonna do some
even just
We should start
stretching.
doing yoga together. We'll call it broken yoga.
Broken
We'll just get
yoga?
together and smoke some blunts and like try to do stretches.
Bloga? Wait, no,
No,
that's the
Just like
that's the wrong
three or four.
direction.
That doesn't work.
That's the wrong direction.
Blunts and
Yeah.
yoga.
No, but I've had like a yoga trapeze set up. Not even, but I can't set it up because like I need to find the studs in my ceiling.
Yeah, you need.
You need a stud finder.
I need a stud.
They're about
Just
14
well, like a
bucks.
rafter. I need like to find the rafter.
I'm not even gonna make the
No,
joke.
it's not.
No, seriously.
No,
a little,
well, because I can't, where I live, like there's nowhere for me to put an inversion table. And that's what I feel like, for me, like I feel very compressed. So
Feel compressed.
I feel compressed, not depressed.
My massage therapist, last time I saw her, I couldn't believe she did this, but it felt so good. Sometimes she'll grab my chin and lift up and decompress everything after she loosens up my shoulders. She actually, and she walks on me, she uses her feet for deep tissue stuff on me all the time. But she's pulling on me, nothing happens. And then she takes a foot and puts a foot on my shoulder and then pulls. And it was just it wasn't even like pops. It was just like the most gradual, like, oh, it was heaven. I was like, did you just pull on me with your foot and hand? She's like, I had to.
You need to get a jet. I used to go to someone that used the poles in the ceiling and walk your spine,
Yeah.
and it was nice, but it got to the point where it was like it was a lot, and to have it done to the level that I needed it to stay loose was super rough on my body. But I did it for like 2 days until I screwed my back up. It's the bounce back that always sucks.
I did the chiropractor for like a couple of years and never totally got rid of my problems. And then I ended up doing physical therapy. And then I got sent to like a different physical therapist. And they did even more stuff. They like literally peeled the muscle from like in underneath my ribs and like stuck their hand like from like here to here underneath my ribs and like rubbed underneath my ribs to get like just tissue that was like just totally like everyone's got it, but some people just it's tighter and it gets stuck there and the fascial tissue sticks to your muscle. And so they literally pry it off. Like, and it's the most painful thing ever. But after that, literally fixed my back problems. I for years had so many issues and I've never had issues like that. That was years and years up until like 23. And then that happened. And
What
it
is that
fixed a lot of
procedure
that.
called?
I'm not sure. Really, it was just like it's just kind of like a massage, but a very deep massage like that, and stick your fingers in there and like you just relax totally. And he said, when you're relaxed and you're doing that, if you can't get your fingers like that deep up into your ribs like that, then it is really tight and that is going to cause issues.
We're all not
I can,
trying
like,
I'm poking my
No,
ribs.
for real.
Yeah, I
When
can
you're
grab hold of my ribs,
when
no
you're
problem.
laying down, do that. See how far you can really put your hands in there, and then try to massage that. It feels really weird and
I think I
like
just made
wrong.
myself throw up in my mouth.
Feels weird and wrong, but like it actually helps so much because that's pulling your body forward.
Yeah, you
And
told
then
me.
you can do
become
the
like a
same. You can do
hunter.
the same thing with your hips, actually. And they did that, but it was
No, I
so
can't.
painful. It was so I hated it so much,
On the
so
hips.
much. Both of them because it was like relentless. It was just like use another hand to like stick it in there and just massage my organs basically.
It gets pretty intense, but I feel so good afterwards.
Oh, I couldn't.
So
It
when
was
she's
hard.
like stretching, like pushing, like I'll be laying down and she'll be like pushing down on my hips and like breaking up all the fascia. And like
That's fun.
sometimes she'll be standing on me
Doesn't
with
it?
her full
Yeah, it
body
really
weight.
does.
And she's like my size. Like I probably have a little bit on her, but she's like standing on me with her full body weight, also pushing from the ceiling. And she's very fit. My massage therapist is fit. Like she could break me if she wanted to. So she's like pushing as hard as she can from the ceiling. And she's like massaging my hips and my sacrum with her heels. And as much as it hurts, like the direct pressure where like her heel is grinding in, as much as it hurts on the outside, the relief on the inside surpasses that. So
Yeah.
it's one of those like, yes, it hurts, but like the relief that it causes past the pain is so worth it. You just got to get through that moment of like, okay, this is intense, but now things are loosening up and now it's like,
Have you ever seen the videos of the doctors that like literally take out like the body chisel and like put it somewhere and they're like and hit it like realigns? Like
Nope.
there's all kinds of YouTube rabbit holes you can go down for that. It's really cool. Like he just gets his hammer out, like smacks somebody with it, realigns their hips, and now they can stand up straight. I'm talking like people come in with backs completely hunched over, and he like
Oh my gosh. Huh.
lines them back up, stands them up. Like, go on now.
Okay, well, how do you maintain that though?
I
Okay,
don't
like
know.
say you realign
Take the
like
hammer home.
you
Fixed
got
for good.
something, yeah.
Miracle fixer.
I guess, yeah.
Hammer.
Yeah. Hammer
Good
time.
stuff.
I don't know.
she and I
I
always
have
talk
seen
about
that. I have seen that. I've always wondered how that how the long-term effects of that are. That just goes right back, or if some of it's more for video effects and things like that, or how much.
Right.
I believe
Say
it's
let's
working.
go and find out. I'm willing to get hit with a hammer for the sake of science,
Oh, yeah. All right.
especially if it makes me feel
All
good.
right, I
Even
got
for a
one.
moment.
I
Make
got-
sure you
I
do your
got one.
homework and it's like the right guy.
All right.
Isn't that what this show's all about?
Would you say is a
Doing your homework
railroad
and
tie and a
finding the
hammer?
right guy?
That's what he used.
I bet you if we Google hammer chiropractor in Columbus, we get some pretty crazy results. That's all I'm gonna
Hammerpractor.
say. Hammerpractor?
Hammerpractor.
Hammerpractor.
Hamo.
Hemopractor. Yeah, because
It
he's
sounds like
a
a
bone
sandwich.
doctor.
Cairo.
You
Are
know,
you just hungry?
I'm always hungry. You don't get this not being hungry. But a camel, that does sound like a sandwich. I don't want one.
A camo hammer?
What? No. That was a Cairo ham.
Or
Cairo.
Yeah, not camo
A
hammer.
Hamopractor.
That's
That's a whole other thing. That's a different show. We're not on that show today.
Okay.
Cairo hammer.
Cairo hammer. I think if we opened up
Kramer.
a deli next to a chiropractor, that would have to be our top selling sandwich.
Hamopractor.
Fair,
I'm just saying.
fair. I like it.
Business ideas all day. Just saying, hit me up.
We'll just have skeletons everywhere.
Get adjusted, get a sandwich. We already have a slogan.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Get baked, get adjusted, get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Are we gonna sell
There's a
cookies
breezeway
too?
door that connects
I
both
don't
the
know.
buildings
We
together.
should. We should cookies and sandwich.
Okay, so it's finding chiropractor. It's really the dream. Yeah.
I like it.
He don't even know he's dreaming it yet. You got to go tell
I'm
him.
gonna sell this idea, bro.
You
Bro,
you
hear me
must
out, hear me
incept
out.
him. You got to go
I'm
find a
gonna attach
chiropractor.
a sub shop.
Befriend him
to
on the
your-
basis of this seated idea and the whole relationship. You will work this out.
I feel like if I just put enough ideas into the universe, at some point somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, I agree with that, but here's much money."
Seeds.
I think
You got
most
it.
tattooers see a chiropractor or a massage therapist, don't you think?
They should
Most
if
do.
they're not, but I'm not, so I should.
You should. You
Yeah,
definitely
too.
should.
I really do.
I'm the king of giving advice that I don't listen to.
We are
Oh,
kind
I'll
of
tell you
spoiled at
what.
Red Tree.
I got a lot of it.
If I could listen to myself, shit.
Right.
We've got all the stretching tools and stuff, so that really helps. And I
That's
offer
the,
those
that's
to
the
my
worst part
clients.
is knowing and not doing.
Yeah, that's just the beauty of the warehouse. Even being a slight employee there, just the benefits of going into the warehouse and using the mats and using the hang bar for your arms and being able to use the inversion table and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I sneak in there sometimes and just stretch.
Just stretch. Yeah, we've got
Okay,
different.
guys,
We've
bye.
got several different rollers. We've got like the
See the light
massage
bulb
balls.
change?
We've got yoga ball. It's nice. It really. I put long days in, and my clients are sitting in there, and they're uncomfortable, and it's
A
really
shop.
nice to be able to just like stretch and like
Mhm.
kind of bounce back during our sessions. It's a good way to kind of rejuvenate mid-session. Like if I'm tired, if I'm working like a long stretch of days, I'll stretch and crack my back and do the things on every break, and it just like I feel good all day long.
You know what we should get for the break area in the
What should
back?
we get for the
A
break
big
area?
old massage table or massage chair that like massages every party.
Like the ones from the mall.
Yeah, where you like put a quarter in there and they just
I
give you the
think-
go.
I think we could set this up. Can we go ahead and
I feel like that room will be much more utilized back there, or like break, or like a lunch area.
Everybody would come down and hang out.
Right, there'll be a line for
Yeah,
it.
for
Like
like
won't
one
be the
check.
bad kids in the corner of the building hiding from
That
everybody.
would literally be one of the
Why
most
are they
useful
always out in the
things. though.
garage? What are they doing? They got the roll-up door out there, homie. Murals,
duh.
No.
baked in the sunshine,
Yeah.
roll up in the shade.
Oh yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Everybody realizes how magic the warehouse is.
You gotta see the magic.
Yeah.
It's like fairies. It's like you gotta believe to see them.
If you spend enough time out there, like alone, tinkering with things when nobody else is in the building at all, like it is a pretty creative spot. Like the warehouse echoes, so I can't not whistle and make noise and sing, and like I'm always making noise when I'm in the warehouse.
I used to
s-
love
I
coming
can't
in
not
the
do it.
morning when I was the first one there when all the reno was happening and I'd be out in the garage singing, listening to whatever, and people come in like, the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of in my mode painting walls. I'll be quiet, man. Sorry.
I'll act like there's other grown-ups around.
Yeah, the first couple months at Red Tree, I didn't have any appointments because I was so new out here. So I just sat and painted out there,
Mhm.
created a big space. That was like I had my tattoo space, but really I was in the warehouse all day.
Yeah.
Kind of missed that time, but now I'm busy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Went from living in a bedroom when I first moved out here to having a house and having a life. It was a lot easier to be in there every day painting. But God, do I love it. I miss it.
You miss living in a room?
I don't miss living in a room.
Oh, okay.
I miss
Just
painting.
checking.
I miss painting as much as I did when I was first at Red Tree out in the warehouse. What? Hey, I did it. I did it. I don't miss
I
it.
just lived in a room. It was just one room.
Just tiny room.
Well, no,
but
when
it
I
was
moved
nice.
when I moved from Grand
Tiny.
Rapids to here, no, I had a whole house full of stuff like this, and just pretty much just left it all, sold it all, got rid of as much as I could.
You
That I
know
could
what?
fit basically
Yeah,
into
no
like
lie.
a small basement.
Sometimes.
And then reaccumulated, started over.
Sometimes it's necessary.
It was
That
the
like
best thing ever.
that's the best way to like decide what's really important to you and what isn't. When you can like just purge things and
Yeah, it was
start
honestly,
over.
yeah, the most cleansing thing I could have done for my life. Just getting rid of just the weight of all those things. I feel like everything I left or got rid of or thrown away was like just like weight off my life.
Even just rearranging and redecorating and recreating a space can really change the way an area feels, and you can change the whole idea. and
100%.
mindset. And I like redoing.
Hmm.
I feel
Yeah.
like when I moved into my house, I had this teeny tiny U-Haul. But I feel like when the time comes for me to move out of my house, I'm gonna need a much larger U-Haul.
As the person that helps carry your furniture, your teeny tiny U-Haul was A, packed, and B, didn't we do multiple trips? You can't claim teeny tiny U-Haul if it takes multiple trips.
Okay, well, the stuff from my studio up in Michigan, that wasn't really like household things though. That was all like, so now I've got like all the studio things down in my basement.
So you brought extra. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
The studio,
I just
that was like an additional project
I remember
too.
doing the shelves and
Yeah, all of my living things took up like half a tiny U-Haul. The shelves and the big stuff, that was all the shop stuff from Michigan.
it's funny when you look around a room and you're like, okay, so what do I actually need? I bet you it all fits in your car. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I need my clothes and I need a few personal things. I bet most of the time.
When I closed up the shop in Michigan, when I started working at Eclectic instead, there was definitely a point where it was like, I could leave all these cabinets, but do I want to build them again when I have another studio? Do I want to, because they're all like, high enough to be workbenches. So that's what I use them for in my garage now.
Right.
It's like they took up a ton of space. I definitely can't really move them by myself. I can scoot them by
Scooch,
myself,
scooch.
but they're too big and like I can't really move them.
Your
So
furniture
yeah,
probably
that stuff
fine.
took up a lot of space. You're right. I've got so much tattoo equipment and shop furniture, but like my personal living things, it's gotten to be a lot more. I was a minimalist. I was living in a camper. When I lived in a camper, that let me know what was really important. When I
need
say
clothes
camper,
and
it was
soap.
a 19-foot little tiny RV.
Right.
Mhm.
So like Chuck Taylor's, check. Hoodies, check.
Clothes. I mean, I do the same thing when I backpack because you're like, okay, I'm going to be out for 2 weeks or a week or even a few days. You're like, I got to carry everything.
Mhm.
What do I actually need? Do I need a full-size chair? No. Do I need a 3-person tent? No. Like it's fun. It's fun to look at my first pack and watch it go. It's because when you realize you didn't need 2 knives and 4 different sources of fire and 3 ways to purify water and all that you pack your fears.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, it's a same idea. Minimalist.
You said you pack your fears.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
like,
really cool way to look at it.
well, I mean,
Like
when you
yeah, because I mean that makes sense. Like, you're afraid of like not being able to make fire. You're like, okay, what if this gets wet?
Mhm.
What if this breaks? What I need like backup on, like I need plan E.
right, and you just triple the weight of what you have to carry.
Yeah.
So it's the same as like people that are like, okay, I
prioritize your
I don't know
fears.
how to make breakfast without a skillet. I don't know how to make breakfast without a skillet. I'm bringing a skillet.
Yeah.
You're like, okay,
Could have saved that little tuna can, but whatever.
I'm gonna have some coffee and a power bar. Like, it's all about choices, man.
Yeah.
It's all about choices. So I don't know. It's a fun concept to play with of necessity over luxury. And it's weird too, especially in the like backpacking. community, the term is always, what's your luxury item? What's the one thing that's not necessity that you have to bring with you? And most people, it's a trinket of some sort, but like it's funny that's the
Mine would be
That's
like,
the
oh,
slang.
it's a box of Life cereal, but I take the box and just put the back. That's my luxury item. That's my sweet snack as I'm walking down the
my
street. That would
luxury
be,
item is always something to smoke.
oh, that's a necessity.
No,
That's
see
like-
what I'm saying? No,
Oh.
no, it's
It's like part of my pills.
yeah,
That's
like,
gonna
it's-
be there.
It's coming.
Like I might put it in
I
a bag
that's
instead
the
of a
implication.
jar.
And some
Save
people
weight.
have to
That's
bring a
super
flask.
nice.
Some people have to bring their chair. Some people have to bring an oversized pill. Like there's a lot of weird, like, I don't care if it's 3 pounds. I'm bringing my neoprene jacket from
But you hike with dabs, not weed,
malarkey.
right? Or both?
Yes.
Oh, we'll see. But that you just consider that your luxury item altogether?
No, I think I spent a lot of time, energy, and effort shaving everything else down, so it doesn't fucking matter. I'm bringing what I want.
Nice.
I'll bring a tube of salami. Like, some people don't pack real
So where
food. Like,
all of your weight is in your food
right.
and what you want to
Because the
indulge
point
in.
of scaling down everything else was to be able to bring the luxury
Yeah.
items.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
Priorities.
yeah, priorities, man.
He's like, I don't care if I smell homeless. I've got the best snacks in my bag, and since I smell like a homeless,
I
but
think
nobody's
that's a
even getting
priority.
close to me.
My favorite is like your trail goes through roads,
Homeless and hungry, or
and people like slow down. Like, are you all right? I'm like, yep.
yeah.
Trail picks up right up there to the left. Do I really look?
A lot of people that aren't hip
Homeless?
to like hiking and they don't. Some people don't even know that they've got trails that cut right through their town. They just
Right.
think they occasionally see homeless people.
Right. Absolutely.
No, they're probably on such and such connecting to the such and such trail.
this is new liberal city. It's that liberals. I tell you what, making their way in here, homeless. Democrats being too nice,
Are we setting up camp soon?
too
We
nice.
got dang San Francisco for too long. Moving in the streets.
Venice Beach.
Homeless be crazy out here though. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
For real though, they're kind of relentless. Like I'll see like 3 of them come out the woodwork on the way home from work. That'll just like surround your car and they'll just like pick which one. They'll all pick a car and I'm like, oh my god.
Columbus is getting to the point where the population is unfortunately to the point where it's kind of unavoidable. They're
You just get people who just get so responsive from like they get Pavlov to like, always getting money like that. They know they can always go to that to get
Mhm.
money. And like
okay.
I'm not the one who's not gonna get money. Like I don't know. Like sometimes I do
Here's-
got
here's
money
the
in my
thing.
thing and I'll be like, here's $1, I don't really care. I
ever,
can give dude
uh,
sunglasses the
You
other
ever
day.
been to a national park?
Yes.
Do you know the signs everywhere that say don't feed the wildlife? Do you know why you don't feed the wildlife? Because you're creating the codependency on a symbiotic relationship with another thing instead of going and taking care of
Right.
yourself.
But then there's another side where it's like, man, even if you're
Don't
even
feed the
if you're
bears
you're
type of
probably having a
situation.
terrible day. So it's like, even if you're having a terrible day, hey, go get your crack rock. I'll give you $1.
Now, I'm not saying that every circumstance is
So
something.
you're gonna have a
that
shitty
doesn't-
day either way. There ain't
Yeah,
no way to
like,
turn
It's
around their
super cool to
homelessness.
think that every person out there is just hustling.
Definitely don't have
But-
any expectation of changing anything. It's only like momentary happiness for another human being. If I ever do.
My thing is what I don't appreciate is I'm stopped at the stoplight trying to have my day and I'm eating my, breakfast sandwich and drinking my coffee and you're staring at me like
I'm gonna be honest, I hate that. I hate it.
they look,
I don't
they
like
look
it
you
at
in the
all.
soul like, oh, you get hot coffee and breakfast this morning, bro? Huh? Why are you making a red light uncomfortable for me? I mean,
We know. See, my issue is like
I didn't
I don't
know I
know.
was
Like
pulling up to
there's
the living room.
there's
It's not my
there's a
fault.
really polite way to do things and things like that. But then there's literally I haven't actually seen her in a while. I don't know, one off the wall person. I probably
Are
you
you
probably
talking
know.
About
One of
the
the
one by the
crackheads.
Family Dollar.
does he
Yeah,
rap?
yeah. No, and she just get
She-
pissed
it's
off.
She gets
Pissed the fuck off, and then
She
she's
gets mad.
there's always other homeless that'll be like, don't give money to her, don't give money to her, and like you can see her just always flipping out. Like if she'll come up to the car and be like, and you'll be like,
Just Jesus passage.
But there-
Right, just all pissed off, super like definitely
there's a
like
super
I've been
aggressive.
seeing her for like a year and a half that just go like a downhill too, like just getting skinnier and skinnier.
Yeah.
There's a super aggressive panhandler that's downtown a lot, and he creatively rhymes. And he's very crass, and he thinks he's hilarious, and he like came up to my window, and I was on the phone, and he's just I'm just, it was so like,
Did he make?
I will
comments about
give you money to shut up and leave me alone. I didn't. I just told him to shut up and leave me alone because I'm cool and heartless. But it was
Because you're
just like,
cold and heartless.
like, man, I didn't wave you over here. I didn't like look you in the eye and be like, yeah, hit me with that fire, bro. I got ducats for you. That never happened. You came over and popped my bubble while I was trying to do like, it was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot. It was a
Yeah,
lot.
personal space. I think everyone should respect personal space, and I think no excuse. Definitely not. You can ask from what distance.
I mean, if I would have been like, cool. That never happened. We didn't make eye contact.
Yeah, well, that's weird.
There was no welcoming gesture.
Sometimes the eye contact.
I'm
I
a
feel like-
fairly,
Right, like, oh, wait,
I'm
oh,
a very reserved person to strangers in general. Like meeting new people, I'm not always like, oh my god, you're a person I've never met before. Like I'm gonna be super nice to you. Like I'm always kind of like weirded out about new people that I meet and stuff, or new people, random people off the street.
Jordan's like,
And it's
you're a
like-
new person. Are you an alien?
Right.
Is that a human?
But
suit?
like, so if you approach me right
Are
off
you
the
wearing a
street, I'm
human
probably
suit?
not going to want to like talk to you right off. I don't really know you. I don't know your intentions. Shit's fucking weird. I don't know if you're gonna stab me. I don't know if that you're about to rob me. I don't know. Like, hey, you want to have a conversation about something and talk about something you need? Hey, man, you know this is. I'm like, all right, I'm just walking down the street. You know, okay, cool. You're. And who knows?
Hey,
Who
bro,
knows?
cool tats.
Who knows? Well, no, it's like.
Is that always the opening?
It's always just like
Yeah, every
it's
time.
always just like homeless people like, hey, you want to make a couple dollars? I'll be at like family fair and I want to go into family for Kroger or something like that. Yesterday I had a dude like, hey, you want to make a couple dollars? He's like, I need this. He's you know, I keep people's IDs keep failing. I don't have my ID, but I want to put the cell phone in there and get this money from the cell phone. And I'm like listening to him, I'm like, all right. And he's like, well, this last guy's ID failed, this guy's ID failed. And I'm like, that's weird. That's all these people's
I
ID
have
failing.
stolen
Like
equipment.
I am
don't
not
want
gonna
my
go in.
face
I don't
attached.
feel. I don't. You know how many times people get robbed in Columbus and shit too, and we're not like in the greatest part of Columbus.
It's on the come up. It'll be better.
It is. It is.
It's not
It
come
is. It is. But also, I'm very observant to the area.
I mean, yes, that sounds
Where we are,
it.
like right here, it's okay. But when you just keep going down Parsons and stuff, you're just like, I'm like seeing some shit.
I've seen some shit. My skin has gotten thick. Columbus is.
It's okay. No, it's not that bad.
I
It's
don't know. I do think about it, and like some of
It's
the
here and
stuff I
there.
saw in Detroit, maybe that's why I'm like, this area is really good. Like, I feel at home here. Like, this is great. It's private. People mind their business. It's affordable.
our little neighborhoods over here. Yes. It can vary very much back and forth.
Yeah, over in your spot.
But it never gets like dilapidatedly shitty. You know what I mean? Like where you just got abandoned house after abandoned house.
No, this area is
The
like,
Columbus population has such an influx. That's impossible.
Right.
Like anybody that owns property right now has the ability to make so much money in Columbus market because you can sell a house in 2 days here. It doesn't matter what condition it is, no inspection, all that. Like
mhm.
the Columbus housing market right now is insane. If you're not making money on houses and you own property, you're asleep. Like it's dumb. There's no reason to have dilapidated houses in Columbus anymore.
Yep.
There's not.
They're around, but it's never like one after another.
Yep, the area we live in is one of the areas that's on the come up, and then the other area is where the studio is. So they're like the two focuses of the city. I think it's exciting. I've seen Columbus change a lot in the last like 10 years since I've been acquainted with the city.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah, no,
cool.
Columbus is a great city. It's not.
Mhm. It's
I'm
just
definitely
cool.
not over here
It's just
saying
cool
it's like a
seeing.
hood city. I just like all cities.
So,
There's areas.
Oh yeah.
to be
There's
fair,
you know, there's
some areas were much more hood a few years ago.
Yeah.
But there's not really anywhere
They're
that's
still
getting
there.
more hood. though. They're just getting to be smaller pockets.
I don't know.
I don't think, you don't think those hood areas are just turning into smaller pockets and pushing further like south and.
I think the whole gentrification thing is probably making that happen.
Yeah.
That's usually
Yeah,
how
that's,
that works.
I guess that's exactly what I'm referring to is the
I'm trying to do that.
buy it, flip it,
And reverse it.
Yeah.
Luminous Lanyon.
I just want to see neighborhoods taken care of, you know, money
Yeah.
put into neighborhoods. I think that's, there's areas like definitely start going down Parsons a little bit. Doesn't look as nice at all. And you can tell the kind of area you're getting into.
Ben and I were driving through an older part of the city earlier today, and I was like, I kind of like to live in but I really don't want to say I live in like this area is way more my taste.
It's a little bit pretentious just to say I
Yeah.
live here. But it's just on the other side of the tracks.
Literally.
God dang, literally.
Literally.
You want to talk about a dividing wall of the city? When Columbus was created, that was literally the
Mhm.
like other side of the tracks.
Mhm.
It's weird to think about that. Like that's a thing for a reason, you know, like you can see it driving through Columbus. You're like, oh, there's a demographic shift directly on the other side of this line. Good times.
Times. So we're at like the 15-minute mark.
What?
Yeah.
Did we just blow through super long podcast?
I mean, it's not super long, but
Normal long.
normal long. Yeah. Anything crazy going on in the tattoo world we need to talk about? Did you get to share your piece that we were talking about earlier
I
that you
did
worked
not.
on yesterday?
I did not
Hold
share.
that up. Let's talk about it for a
All right,
minute.
I'll bring that up.
Bring it up. He's got, what do you think? One more session?
One more session to wrap everything up and go through and really saturate colors the way I wanted to. We moved through such big spaces and there's a little bit more I want to do. Oh,
Show me the big spaces you filled, Jordan.
whoops. Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Show
Give it to
ya.
me, baby.
Oh,
I'm gonna show you.
oh,
Oh,
Make a post, but I do have a story.
there she is.
gotcha.
Psych.
That's insane.
Yeah, we did yesterday. We did all around there.
Coming right along.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some shadow behind some
That
things,
scroll
do
work
some
is
stuff.
settled in really nicely down at the
Down at the
bottom.
bottom,
You
yeah.
started with that area, right?
Mhm.
I like it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep, she's a trooper. How many sessions have you had on this? 3? 4?
4 or 5. 4 or 5.
Yep, she's a trooper. They're nice long sessions every time you see her, right?
Definitely. This piece is massive. This is bigger than a back piece, I feel like.
It comes so high up on the hip, but it looks really nice and it fits nicely.
We're coming out of summer. It's about to be tattoo season again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, these jellyfish.
Oh yeah, what jellyfish?
These jellyfish.
You got some jellies?
I pulled up some jellies and posted the other day.
Nice. That's a cool, like architectural fractally shape you've got at the top too.
Architecturally fractally.
Well, it looks like it
The
could
words
either be
I
a
learned.
fractal that's breaking apart, or it could be a rose window. Like
Right,
my
I tried to-
imagination
I tried
wants
to
it
do
to be
something like
either
that.
of those things.
I wanted it to be like a rocky one, like you're looking like through a cave that was all carved out deep in the ocean. I should have posted more pictures, but I couldn't find them. This was what I was going through my photos to find something old to post.
Mhm.
I like scuba diver face.
Yes.
A flower of life face there.
Bam.
Yep, that's a full sleeve all the way down. Here's an old Metroid one. We got one more. We got more to do to it on the back of it. There's some stuff to do back there still. Needs to come through.
Super cool.
Metroid, Ridley.
Do you want to pull up
Common
some of
colors that you
Vandala's
used.
work?
Yeah.
We haven't even talked, we haven't showcased any of it. You've been posting some really nice stuff lately too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I posted that one. It's a fun piece. Thank you.
Mhm.
I like the soft smokiness in the background. Sorry, I got mousy.
Yeah, that's the beginning of a sleeve. It's going to be like a post-apocalyptic kind of sleeve. So we stopped with the tree in the front, but that's going to be on fire, and there's going to be like a forest fire and kind of trailing it down to for like some scenery down
It's
to the
a-
bottom of this
A
forest.
DNA strand floating in the bubble.
Yep, a DNA strand and a butterfly and
Pair of scissors.
no. Yeah, it's a pagoda that I
Nice.
started. Thank you.
Very nice.
I like that mountainscape with the flowers around it too.
Thank you.
Is that one of the tarantulas you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I
What's
put
the-
some
what? Oh,
citrine in her butt and kind of just made it look like it was growing on
I thought it
her.
was alive at first. I
Super
was like,
cool.
what?
No, it's a shedding, so I'm gonna have to kind of reinforce it with something like a matte spray because I don't want to take away from the hair follicles. And it's not done, but yeah, I found these really cool frames at a thrift store, so I've kind of been working with these frames.
Very nice.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
It's raining so hard you can hear it through the microphones.
I thought that's what that was.
Yesterday
Yeah.
when I was talking to Gabe, like from out of nowhere, it just started downpouring and I like
Buckets.
look out the window.
I had been off
Okay.
the roof for about 13 seconds, and it was like,
Open up that lotus.
oh wow.
Yeah. I think that was her first piece. She was like, I was hoping it was going to be smaller, but I'm really happy that you talked me into making it bigger. I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, it was. She really liked it. I had fun doing it.
It's a nice touch that you use that red rim on those back flower petals. It gives you the impression that it's actually glowing. It's a really nice touch.
Thank you.
Just like one thoughtful little change that makes it more believable, like it's glowing from the middle.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, I missed the octopus. I don't think I saw that one.
Oh rad. It's a super cool
Is it-
placement.
It's a
Thank
very
you.
poisonous one.
Yeah, it has an Eastern blue ring or Pacific blue ring octopus.
And they're little, right? They're little pipsqueaks.
So where is the Pacific Blue Ring?
Right there. See him?
She said it's the whole thing.
All over him.
Yeah.
That's a Pacific blue ring.
Oh, it's not like a place. It's the
Mm.
name of the octopus.
No, it's each ring. It's a Pacific blue ring.
You're a Pacific Blue Ring.
That lotus with dragonflies and water is super nice too. Those rolling little kind
wow.
of finger waves.
I really love that softness on the
Mhm.
inside of that.
I really enjoy doing flowers and bugs. And
It's very cool. I like it a lot. Cat bird.
yeah, it's actually her cat. I am still doing this kind of like a fundraiser. So I'm doing framed cats, but she wanted me to do a cat bird for her. So I made her cat look like a bird. And so I'm taking half the proceeds and giving it to this cat fostering facility.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell
once I
yeah.
complete all the projects,
That's
we're gonna
awesome.
get half of the proceeds.
I love cats so much. That's so
Yeah,
great.
that's where I adopted my cat from. So it's a really nice place.
Again, super cool placement. I like the way the image pops just outside of the frame on both sides. It like adds to the
Where you pick and choose
foreground.
what
You know what I
frames.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's for just like some of the examples that I gave people. But I ended up doing everyone's cats. Like, apparently, they don't want random cats in there. They want their.
I take a random cat tattoo.
I thought they were cute, but I was like, I get it. You want your special kitty.
For sure.
Little known fact, Ben's a cat dad.
Your cat dad, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
He says
yeah.
he's a forced cat dad, but
Okay,
like
to be
how did the
fair,
cats become to live with you
MJ
in the
is
first
my
place?
cat. MJ is my cat, and she's like 16 at this point. I found her underneath of the deck that I was demoing at my old house.
And then what happened next,
She was going
Softy?
to die, so I brought her in the house and gave her baby food and made her live, and now we're
And
best
made her
friends.
live.
But
Made her live.
I just a little baby can't die. You seen them pretty blue eyes? Can't do it. Can't leave a little baby look. Can't just let that
All
happen.
squeaking,
It's not on my watch.
squeaking and scared.
So I've had MJ for a long time, but yeah, I think I'm on a no replacement policy at this point. I love them. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of maintenance. My favorite cat is our outdoor cat. You know why? Because he's just
outdoor.
outside.
He's
I
just
got fucking
Outside, yeah.
little baby food. He does his thing.
Yeah, but don't you worry about him more? Like, I don't know, what if you get hit by a bus?
I know, my cat got cat
He's
AIDS,
a gangster.
and he can only stay.
He's a
He has to stay
gangster.
inside
Yeah,
now.
he's fully loaded. He's got all his claws. He's got a fenced-in backyard. He's got a little baby hut out back.
You probably
It's
see
food
them
every day.
yeah.
He's got a second mom that like calls us like, your cat's here hanging out eating dinner. I'll send him home later.
All my cats have always been indoor, outdoor cats.
Oh,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, right.
They've
Never
all
hear
been
what the
indoor,
bodily
outdoor cats, but now my
functions
cat's got cat AIDS from going outside, so
Aw.
he doesn't go outside anymore. He was pretty upset about it, but now he doesn't even ask.
My cat, they both love to
Doesn't
go
even
outside.
ask.
One I leave out during the day when I'm home. He doesn't even have any sense or want or desire to leave the fence. Like he is chilling in the backyard. He is bird watching. He's like chasing crickets. He's living his best life. He is being the alpha, but he knows the other side of that fence. I mean, he's a scaredy cat. So what's going to happen on the other side of the fence? He's scared of everything. Like as much time as you spend at my house, you barely see him. As
Right.
much time as you spend at
The
my house.
complete unknown to
barely
him,
see him.
except the scary place before you.
Well, the thing is, my dog and my other cat are both gray, but you see these like orange hairballs. So there's evidence of an orange cat in the house somewhere.
See, my orange cat's our outdoor cat. He made the decision to live outside, not me. I'm just the one that had to put him out there. Like, I see you don't want to follow the rules inside. If you want to continue to live here, it will be in the exterior of the home.
But even the exterior, there's like this little like covered porch area with a little like cat
Mhm.
box with blankets and like
He's got a heated pad.
he's living his
fine.
best life out there.
He's got his own little like pimp
He's
cat
living-
shack.
He's living his
Like,
best
I
life.
didn't just throw him out in the cold.
You're like, live. Go.
Heartless.
Figure it out or die. I
Go.
immediately bought him a weatherproof box on my enclosed patio. Propped the door open. He's fine.
Yeah, he's living his best life out there.
He's fine.
Well, we're approaching the 3:00. Do you want to share how people can get in touch with you to schedule or those things?
Sure. So I can be reached by email. It's andalareart@gmail.com. Andalareart is also my Instagram name, so you can look that up and check out my online portfolio
All
if you
those
want to
words.
check me out. That's probably the best way to reach me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
Thank you.
you know
Thank
where
you
to
for
find
having
us.
Mhm,
Tattoo
absolutely.
collecting, what is it? Tattoo collecting 101 on Instagram, Gmail, all the things.
Y'all know where to find us. Episode 52.
Awesome.
You've been here for a while.
You gotta search for
Actually,
me.
let
I'm not
see.
giving you my
I
credentials.
believe,
You gotta dig.
Yeah, Ben's an if you know kind of person.
Yeah.
next week we've got Chris Taylor on again. The organizer of the Indie Tattoo Expo. He'll be joining us again. So we're
Nice.
talking
Chris was a lot
about,
of fun.
yeah, we barely even got to talking about his tattoo collection because we started talking about so much tattoo history. So really looking forward to having him on again because like he's got a lot of information to share that is brand new to me. So it's like I get to learn and hear a whole different facet of tattoo history from him. So so next week will be another great show. We'll have Chris. I don't know for sure, but he might be joining us in studio. So if we're at the new mothership, he might be with us. Or you think we're going to be here one more week?
Definitely won't be here. Might be there. So contingency.
Cool. If not, we can
for
set up at
not
my
being
house
either of
too.
them.
Mobile.
We can always do it in my living room. We'll call it the time capsule.
Aww.
Yeah. We'll prepare for that.
You want to step right back into 1952? with a flat screen.
With a flat screen and like 9 aquariums.
Yeah. Oh.
There's 2 nano tanks and 1 real aquarium.
Oh, nano tanks.
Yeah,
That's
they're little,
Vaughn's house.
but they're fun.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's no banjos.
Just
Where do you
kidding.
think I live 1
Banjos-
block away?
I'm just kidding. Just
I live
kidding.
1 block that way.
I wish you had a banjo.
I love banjos. I want to learn that drone string.
She's out on the sticks of the hood.
I'm not out in the sticks. I'm like down an alley, right in the middle of a bunch of
5
old
minute walking.
houses.
5 minute.
Columbus.
5 minute walking.
We could
distance.
literally trot there, not lose breath.
Throw a rock real hard,
Oh no, embarrassing.
hit my ceiling.
Probably could. Almost.
All right, guys.
Our
Well, we're gonna
podcast.
go ahead and sign off. We will see you next week.
Buenas noches, mi amigos.
All right. Bye, everybody.